Olive Branch Alumni Charity Basketball game coming up tomorrow night. He will join us, and I believe he's going to join us in studio. Talk a little bit about the game that's taking place tomorrow night. They've got both a men's and women's alumni game. It's going to be Olive Branch versus Holly Springs in that one. And we'll talk with KJ about that. And, of course, all things NFL as well as the offseason continues. And, again, he's getting into the coaching game this year now with the San Francisco 49ers. He comes your way at 8:05 today. In our final hour today, we'll have 10 in a row. Give you a chance to win a great prize package. Now, we did not have a winner last week in 10 in a row. So I have continued with the same lists. So if you either participated or were just listening last week, you already got a head start. I didn't even change anything. I'm going with the exact same list. I was going to change some of the names and do some things, but I said, you know what? I'll be kind. It's a holiday. I'll be nice to the people out there. So we'll have 10 in a row coming up in our final hour. Along with that, Jason Sobel from PGA Tour Radio on Sirius XM will join us at 9:30 to talk a little golf. What's going on the PGA Tour as we are just a little over a month out now from the FedEx St. Jude Championship, the first playoff event here in Memphis. Of course, the British Open, the final major of the year coming up as well. And yesterday we had another 59 shot on the PGA Tour. These guys are pretty good. I don't know if you've ever heard, maybe they should do some sort of campaign where they say these guys are good, because these guys are good. And yesterday, another 59 shot on the PGA Tour as it was Hayden Springer. That's right, Hayden Springer. Probably a guy that most people have never heard of, but he shot 59 at the John Deere Classic yesterday on the PGA Tour in round number one of that. So Jason Sobel at 9:30, and then at 9:50 or so to end the show today and to end the week, we are expected to be joined by Grizzlies draft pick Jalen Wells, 39th pick of the draft. Jalen is expected to join us. He threw out the first pitch at the Redbirds game on Wednesday night as he and Zach Edey were out there signing autographs, and he threw out the first pitch. And, of course, getting ready for Summer League to get underway on Monday for the Grizzlies as they will be in Utah for 3 games, and then they move on to Vegas for 4 games as part of the Summer League. And so we'll talk with Jalen Wells about being a draft pick and getting ready for Summer League and with the Memphis Grizzlies. Zach Boyd, I almost said, how was your weekend? How was your holiday, your 4th of July holiday?
No, you said it right. How was my week? My weekend was great.
It is very weird. I really felt like it was Monday when I woke up today. And then the cool thing is when you think it's a Monday, but it's a Friday. I mean, that's what a great gift that is.
I guess because when we was eating our food last night, I was just sitting thinking to myself like, today feels like a Sunday.
It is.
Like, it just feels like a Sunday. My mom said it feels like a Saturday. My girlfriend says it feels like a Saturday. It was just like this is what's throwing us off, man.
It was all kinds of confusion. Did you get to see any fireworks?
Sure, like in my neighborhood.
Okay, yeah.
You know, some good neighborhood action.
Good stuff, good ones.
It was okay, right?
I mean,
smoky.
I'm not a huge fireworks person. I mean, when I was a kid, I liked fireworks. Now I'm kind of like, okay, whatever. But I will say this, like some of these neighborhoods, and I don't know what's legal and what's illegal. I don't know where, like certain part. I don't know, it's weird to me. But some of these neighborhoods got some pretty darn good fireworks. Like you can find some little neighborhoods around this city where they put on a hell of a fireworks show.
Oh yeah. I know Olive Branch. They're doing theirs today and tomorrow. They put on a fireworks show. So
yeah, it was last night. You could pretty much look in any direction in the sky, and you were probably going to see fireworks somewhere. And again, some of these just little block parties will put on a hell of a show. People like to spend money on fireworks. They really like to spend money on fireworks. And so yeah, did you did you have any hot dogs? Did you have any Impossible hot dogs like Joey Chestnut?
No. I had one hot dog and I like two burgers. So
there you go. But Impossible Burgers.
yeah, it was like veggie burgers.
And veggie hot dogs.
Yeah.
See, I wish I could ask you, like, how they taste compared to regular, but you don't know.
I wouldn't.
As far as you know, that's what they taste like.
To me, it tastes like a sandwich. It tastes like a burger to me.
Speaking of the hot dogs and Joey Chestnut, did you see what he did yesterday?
No, what do you do?
Okay, so obviously he's not participating in the Nathan's hot dog eating contest because he wasn't allowed to. Which, by the way, Patrick Bertoletti won with 58 hot dogs. That was the winning number. And I think that won by like 5. Something like that. But yeah, it won by 5. 53 was second place. So Patrick Bertoletti wins with 58 hot dogs that he ate in 10 minutes. Meanwhile, Joey Chestnut was at an Army base down in El Paso. He was doing a contest. It was him versus 5 people, 5 soldiers. So their combined total versus him. And they only went 5 minutes. He ate 57 in 5 minutes. So in half the time, he only was 1 short of the winning total of the Nathan's contest. He had 57 in 5 minutes. The winner of the Nathan's had 58 in 10 minutes. 57 hot dogs in 5 minutes.
I watched most of it, and it was very anticlimactic because it's like, yo, like, it's like, who's gonna win? Like, we don't know. They try to drum up with interest, but we all know, like, man, like if Joey was here, we're all just waiting to see, like, can he get to 80? You know.
Dude, at that pace, if you could do 50, I mean, I don't even know, 57 in 5 minutes. Like, again, so obviously for the Nathans, that would be a pace of 114.
Yeah. Which
is insane. And he wouldn't be able to keep that up, obviously, but he's on his game. If you're doing 57 in 5 minutes, you're on your game. He despite not being in the Nathans contest, he is ready to go. Yeah, I mean, I guess, again, theoretically, with him not there, it does create more drama because you don't know who's going to win. On the men's side, that is. We'll get to the women in a second. But yeah, I mean, I guess there's also the idea that, I mean, again, 58 wins it. I mean, he was doing like, I don't know that he's ever been 58 or lower. I don't know what the fewest he's ever eaten is in one of those contests. I don't know that he's ever, like, I think he's probably beaten 58 every time he's ever been in the contest. On the women's side, Mickey Sudo eats 51, which is a women's record, breaking her own record. She's never lost. She doesn't get the attention on the women's side that Joey Chestnut does. She has never been beaten. The only time she didn't win the women's was when she didn't compete because she was pregnant. Every time she's ever been in it, she's won it. I think this is 10 times now that she's competed, and she is 10 for 10. So we need to start giving her a little bit of love. She is the absolute, there's not even close on the women's side. Like, she absolutely owns the women's competition.
It's almost like the women are eating just as much as the men.
And yeah, but she had 51. I mean, so she would have been third. She was third overall, even if you include the men, and just dominates the women's thing.
By the way, Joey, his least total of hot dogs he has eaten in the competition is 62, and that was last year.
So 62 is his. So his worst ever would have won this year's competition.
Yeah. And then in last year's competition, even though he ate 62 hot dogs, he still defeated his, the next opponent was like 15 hot dogs less.
So the year that he lost, which was, 2015, I believe it is. How many did he eat the year he lost? And how many did the winner eat, I wonder? Because he lost to, what's his name? That was the trivia question, my trivia question earlier in the week. Matt Stoney in 2000, I believe it was 15 or 16. What did Stoney eat to beat him, and what did he eat? It was 2015. Can you find the results of the 2015 Nathan's hot dog eating contest?
I can't believe we keep up with this. So Chestnut, he ate 60 hot dogs.
So that's his lowest number.
Yeah, well, the 62 is the lowest in a win.
In a win, yes. But 60 is his, but again, still would have won this year's competition.
Yeah, and then Stoney had 62.
62.
So it wasn't off.
Okay. It's just, by the way, your boy, weren't you the Badlands Booker? Aren't you a big Badlands fan?
Yeah.
He won. They have what's the thing that it's like the lemonade drinking contest. He won that.
Give him his belt, man.
So your boy,
give him his belt.
He can't eat the hot dogs like these other guys, but he can. It's like you got to drink a gallon of lemonade, I think it is, and he did it in 21 seconds.
Give him his
something
belt.
like that.
That's a true champion right there. Do you know how difficult it is to drink lemonade?
Oh, dude, I mean, like that's amazing. First of all, a gallon of lemonade, I can't imagine. Like even when it's hot as hell outside and you're just dying, I can't imagine just drinking a gallon of lemonade. And yeah, he did it in, I think it was 21 seconds is what I read that he did it in to win that.
And this might be a little bit of TMI, but lemonade goes straight through you. So I know he had to like go to the restroom right after he downed a gallon.
I had
lemonade.
no idea that the lemonade drinking was the undercard of the hot dog eating, but apparently it is. Like that's what they do. Like I don't know if there's other ones that lead up to it, but the lemonade drinking is one of the things that is before they do the hot dog eating for the Nathans. David texted, he says, the best part of the contest is the random accomplishments of their other accolades, like 13 and a half pounds of fudge in 8 minutes or 10 pounds of baked beans in 2 minutes.
If you're eating 10 pounds of baked beans, you're like, you're sick.
You talk about rough on your insides. Nobody wants to be around you
at all
after you've eaten 10 pounds of baked beans in 2 minutes. That's for sure. You have to have plans to spend the next few days by yourself in isolation because nobody in their right mind wants to be around you if you've eaten 10 pounds of baked beans. That is, that is something. From the NBA, pretty quiet on the holiday, although we did get the deal. Talked about it on Wednesday that there was conversations about the Golden State Warriors, or with the Golden State Warriors and the Philadelphia 76ers, about the Warriors possibly trying to acquire Buddy Hield, I guess as the replacement for Klay Thompson. And that deal does get done. Buddy Hield in a sign and trade will head to Golden State. He's got 2 years, $18 million guaranteed. Got $18 million over the first 2 years guaranteed. Then he's got a partial guarantee of $3 million for a third year, and then he's got a fourth year non-guaranteed player option. So it could be a 4-year deal. Definitely a 2-year deal. And Philadelphia gets a second-round pick from Golden State for Buddy Hield. Again, Hield, fantastic shooter. I think he's right around 40% for his career. So certainly it makes sense to replace Klay Thompson with a guy like Buddy Hield. I don't really, again, you're trying to hang on. It feels like this is I don't really know what for Golden State. Like, they go get Kyle Anderson. They go get DeAnthony Melton. Now they're bringing in Buddy Hield. Like, I don't think it makes Golden State anything more than a play-in team at best. And so I don't really understand their course of action here. To me, just go full in on the rebuild at this point. I know you're trying to get as much as you can out of Steph Curry. I just don't see what you're doing here, other than trying to become a play-in team. The other big news, I guess, not real news necessarily, but it's just interesting that Draymond Green, speaking of the Warriors, on his podcast, talking about Klay Thompson leaving the Warriors, told the story that last offseason, he called Steph and Klay and Steve Kerr because he was going to be leaving to come to Memphis. So that he was telling them basically, I'm out. I'm gone. I'm going to Memphis. How do you think, Zach, fans in Memphis, if that had truly happened, if he had done that, which he said he was telling them he was gone. How do you think fans would have reacted to the Grizzlies signing Draymond Green?
I think the majority would have been like, "What are we doing?" Like, why are we bringing Draymond to the Grizzlies? Like, did we not hear and see what he was doing, mocking us the entire playoff series? Like, why is he coming to the Grizzlies? So I think the majority would have been against it. I'm still don't know what to make of it because I'm not sure if the current moves that they made in present time will still be the current moves that they was going to make if and when Draymond would have came to the Grizzlies.
My guess is he would have been basically in place of Marcus Smart. Like because they wouldn't have been able to just sign him. It would have had to have been a sign and trade, I believe. So my guess is basically the trade they made for Marcus Smart would have been for Draymond Green. Not exactly the same trade necessarily, but there would have been some sort of trade, maybe Tyus Jones included in that or whatever. So you would have had Draymond instead of Marcus Smart. And I'm with you. I think fans at first would have been like, what the hell are we doing? But then as soon as Draymond got out there and he's doing those antics for your team, Memphis fans would have loved him.
They'd be like, hey, man, you know how Draymond is.
He's one of us.
He a different bird, man.
He's one of us, man. Love this guy. I've always loved him. Always loved this guy. Always wanted him on the team. Great, man. What a player. What a winner. He's just a true winner. Can't love having this guy around. That's exactly what it was. First time he did anything. First time he got a technical. They'd be like, yeah, that's right. Tell those refs.
It's like, clap it up, man. Come on.
He gets suspended the 5 games for kicking somebody. Oh, man, what does the league do it?
It's rigged.
Why are they suspending Draymond? This is crazy. All he did, it was a foul. It's a flagrant foul. Like, what are we doing? How are we suspending him over this? Oh, you know how it all been.
He slapped him in the face, but he wasn't trying to do it on purpose. That was
man. Completely accidental. This is crazy stuff. What is the league doing? The league's out to get the Grizzlies. They always have been. I don't understand this stuff. Why is Draymond suspended for this? You could see it absolutely. It would be unbelievable. But that would have been interesting if we would have had Draymond Green. But nonetheless, we did not get Draymond Green. He's still with the Warriors, and now the Warriors have Buddy Hield as well. We are just getting rolling on this post-4th of July edition of Sports 56 Mornings. Happy Friday to y'all out there. Coming up next, our buddy John Varlas from the Daily Memphian as we continue on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Broadcasting from the Family Leisure Studio, we are Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Don't miss the Independence Day sale at Edwin Watts Golf Shops by Worldwide Golf. Take advantage of incredible deals like 20% off all used clubs, Orange Dot apparel starting at $29.99, and all closeout shoes and bags get an extra 20% off. Shop in store or online for great Independence Day deals. Edwin Watts Golf Shops by Worldwide Golf, home of the 90-day satisfaction guaranteed. Get there.
You or someone you know or care about has dealt with a difficult divorce. When facing divorce, you need the attorneys at Rice Law. Nick and Larry Rice lead the firm with 3 generations and 7 decades of experience. Located in Memphis, serving the entire state of Tennessee and North Mississippi. Rice Law is who you need to call. Simple or difficult divorce, they know how to handle it. Call Rice Law at 901-526-6701, or for more information, visit them at aboutdivorce.com. That's aboutdivorce.com.
Women here in Memphis are wearing bigger, better quality diamonds and some amazing designer rings thanks to the arrival of Genesis Diamonds. Hey, it's Eric Hasseltine, and Genesis came on the scene here last year and shook up the jewelry world big time with rock-bottom prices on diamonds, a selection that's like 20 times ordinary stores, designer rings you can't find anywhere else, and guarantees and warranties that are the strongest in America. A relaxed, no-pressure, laid-back experience with no commission salespeople. Everybody here is loving what Genesis is doing. Whether you want a lab-grown diamond or a natural diamond, Genesis will easily beat anyone else's price. The owner is a former diamond wholesaler, and Genesis has cornered the market on the world's most acclaimed designer rings. They have all the top 10 designers in the bridal world, thousands of handcrafted rings made by the premier designers. For whatever special occasion you have coming up, don't go to the old-fashioned stores for the same old, same old. Discover the store that's raised the bar in quality, selection, and value. Prepare to be blown away. Genesis Diamonds on Poplar at Perkins Extended.
Summertime's finally here, and that means it's time to party. Lucky for you, Family Leisure is having a summertime to party sale. Now, what's all included in this party sale? Practically everything. 24-foot above ground pools for as little as $19.99. All ladders, filter systems, and even robotic cleaners are 20% off. Come in and look at all of the in-stock patio furniture Family Leisure has. Plus, it's up to 50% off. Play gyms for the kids, that's $1,000 off. Patio umbrellas, take 20% off. You can get a 4-person hot tub for just under $3,000. But we know you're really going to just use it for yourself. Family Leisure has discounted pricing on all in-stock pool toys and floats while the supplies last, so you better get in quick. Plus, Family Leisure has special financing available. Just ask an associate for all the details. Summertime means party time, and Family Leisure is ready for any party. Family Leisure, Whitten Road at I-40, where family and fun all come together.
Rick's Powder Coating for a beautiful finish every time. Rick's Powder Coating specializes in automotive, ornamental, residential, and industrial coating. With 2 conveyor lines and the largest batch ovens in the Mid-South, Rick's can accommodate all of your powder coating needs. Locally owned and operated since 2002, Rick's Powder Coating will customize a beautiful finish just for you. Drop by or call to see how Rick's Powder Coating can bring color to your life. 901-367-2771 or rickspowdercoating.com.
I have the perfect place for all you round ballers out there. If you want to improve your game, you want to become a better shooter, Shoot 360 Memphis is the place for you. They've been around now for a while in Collierville, and they are about to open up their new store in Cordova. You can become a member at either one or both locations, and now they're transitioning to monthly memberships. From preps to pros, this is about as cool a place as you'll ever see. If you are a basketball player looking to perfect your shot, challenge yourself, compete with others, and really learn the proper ways to shoot the basketball using modern analytics. What they do is a revolutionary training facility that combines cutting-edge technology with expert coaching to improve shooting skills. The facility is equipped with advanced shooting machines that provide real-time feedback on shooting accuracy, and most importantly, arc in depth. Players can track their progress and analyze their performance. Again, currently in Collierville and coming soon to Cordova. So take advantage of it right now with the new transition to monthly memberships. Call them, 901-316-5500. Set up a tour of the facility or go online to register and sign up at Shoot 360 Memphis. It's where the preps and the pros go to get their shot on. Shoot 360 Memphis.
Sports 56 traffic.
Good morning. Traffic's on the increase out here in a couple of spots coming down I-40 in from Fayette County. This rain's going to send you out early. Lots of standing water already out here on main and secondary arteries. Some power outages in certain parts of town as well. I mean, some of the traffic lights could either be out or on the blink. Weimer's Jewelry right here in Memphis specializes in bridal ring purchases. Go by and see them this weekend. Shop local. Save a lot of money at Weimer's Jewelry, 7525 Highway 64. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Welcome back here in the Family Leisure Studios. Family Leisure, that's where family and fun come together. 2120 Whitten Road. It's pool season, and they've got the pools for you. Go check them out. Great deals on pools, patio furniture, hot tubs, anything you can imagine. Over at Family Leisure, again, 2120 Whitten Road. Time now for John Varlas.
It's time for Greg and Eli's weekly visit with John Varlas of the Daily Memphian. Want John's prep sports coverage and much more at dailymemphian.com. John is brought to you by Shoot 360 Memphis, where pros and preps go to get their shot on. Shoot 360 Memphis. Now here's John Varlas with Greg and Eli.
He is the multi-award winning fantastic writer from the Daily Memphian. After a week off last week, a little vacation, he's back with us this week. You can follow him on Twitter at John Varlas. It is the one and only John Varlas. Hello, sir.
You were very kind to say that, Eli. Good morning to you. Good morning to Zach. I hope you guys had a happy 4th of July.
Did you?
It sounds like you did.
And it was a good 4th.
Did you fire up the big green egg?
I did not fire up the big green egg.
Oh,
I fired it up on the 3rd. I did not fire it up on the 4th.
I heard that. You and your skirt steaks on the 3rd. Did nothing on the 4th? That's un-American.
No, yeah, we did it. I played in a golf tournament.
Okay.
And then went over to some friend's house. So yeah, it was. I gave the egg the day off yesterday.
You were the guest of honor yesterday.
Yeah, well, yeah. You know, I've tried. You're always our guest of honor.
Well, I appreciate that a lot.
And of course, brought to everyone by the folks at Shoot 360.
Yes, sir. Shoot 360 Memphis. Give them a call, 901-316-5500. This is the time of year, parents, when you develop your skills, and Shoot 360 Memphis is the best place to do it. They've got their location, 85 Market Street in Collierville, and the Cordova location. It's I think it was scheduled to open soon. I'm not sure if it is, but give them a call and see what the status is on that. But when it does open in Cordova, you can have the option of having a membership in Cordova or in Collierville or in both. You're going to get the same great service at either location, the same access to the great technology, the best analytic data for young basketball players to learn how to properly shoot the basketball. They'll track your arc, your projection, your depth, all the science that goes into shooting a basketball. They will get you right at Shoot 360 Memphis. Give them a call, 901-316-5500, and tell them JV sent you. It's a really fun place. It really is.
All right. You've had 2 weeks, so there's probably an endless amount of bones at this point. But do you have a bone for us?
I was telling my wife that I was going to come in here and disappoint you guys because it's been such a nice, mellow, relaxing vacation.
Did you come in and mellow?
I've been largely off of social media. I haven't engaged in any Twitter debates or any conversation like that. I passed along a couple of bits of newsy type things over the last almost 2 weeks, but that's been the extent of it. I'm relatively bone free, but I do have a teeny weeny tiny bone to pick with your opening segment, and I don't want to come in here and tell you how to ruin your show, but just that competitive eating talk is just disgusting, and especially first thing in the morning when people are just waking up and maybe they ate a little too much yesterday and they're not feeling great themselves, or they're a little
maybe they ate 10 pounds of baked beans.
I've been there, done that, but not in 2 minutes, of course, but certainly been there, done that. But Zach was right. You're really into this stuff, aren't you? This competitive eating.
I think they amaze me. Like Joey Chestnut, 57 hot dogs in 5 minutes blows my mind.
Yeah, I understand. I understand on some level that it is amazing. It's not amazing in the same sense of Michael Jordan, dunking from the free throw line, or Tiger Woods, shooting 62 at the Masters or whatever. It's not the same level of amazing, but it is amazing, I guess.
Yes, they're doing things that I can't fathom myself doing.
Right.
I don't even make sense to me.
Right, but by the same token, you can't probably fathom yourself committing, heinous crimes and things of that nature. I mean, there's things you can't envision yourself doing that aren't exactly good things, right? Or
no, they're committing heinous crimes against their body.
Oh, they are.
I just can't imagine what you feel like after.
Yeah, I can't imagine what you would either. And then like Zach was talking about the guy that ate the fudge, and yeah, I mean, we all love fudge, but my goodness, 13 pounds of it.
Hey, it's a lot of fudge.
It's a lot of fudge.
I can't even. Yeah, again, these are things I can't imagine doing myself.
I will say this though, it's interesting that it seems like the magic number for golf is always 59. It seems like nobody can get lower than that, but Patrick Bertoletti managed to do it with his with his 58 yesterday. So
cruising to a win with 58 when Chestnut's like 57 in 5 minutes.
But seriously, I'll ask you about that. With you're the golf guy, and I always defer to you on that. So we see lots of people shooting 59s. What would it take to get lower than 50?
Well, Jim Furyk did shoot 58.
Okay,
he did. Jim Furyk in a PGA Tour event. Jim Furyk did shoot a 58.
And what was the par for the course? 70 on that? Or?
I don't know if that was a 70 or not.
Okay,
I'm not sure.
Okay, I didn't know that there was ever a recorded 58 on a legitimate course. I know there's been like some 57s and things, but they've been on like much shorter courses and non-sanctioned events and things like that. But okay, well, I just
I'm pretty sure he's the only one that shot 58. And then there's, I think, 13 or 14 59s now.
Yeah.
Including we've had 2 now this year, 2 in the last few weeks.
Annika Sorenstam did one, didn't she?
I don't on the women's tour. She probably did because she was awesome. Yeah. So I don't know how many women have ever shot 59. Yeah. I think yesterday's was the 14th on the men's tour. I think it was 14, but no, these guys are just they're stupid good anymore.
That's good golfing.
Well, the equipment is. It just shows you like these guys. First of all, they're just awesome, but then the equipment has made it. I don't even know what you do to try and make it harder on these guys. But we have not obviously had you on since you weren't here last week, since the Grizzlies draft picks. You're a Zach Edey guy, aren't you?
Oh, love it.
So you love this?
Oh, I pulled it up on my computer there in our hotel room down on the beach, and right before I went to bed, I was like, oh, I wonder who the Grizzlies drafted. I certainly wasn't on my radar because I was having such a great day, doing other things. But I was like, I wonder who the Grizzlies drafted. Pulled it up and scrolled down. I was like, oh, Zach Edey. Wow, man, I was just so happy. I think that's a wonderful pick. I really, truly do. I think he's going to fit in so well with the existing group of players that they have. I think the things that he can do will really complement them well. I don't think the pressure. He's not going to have the pressure to come in and deliver 20 points and 15 rebounds a game. I think he's going to work really well in the pick and roll with John Morant. One of the few things I did tweet this week, if John Morant is healthy this year and manages to stay on the court, I think he can average 25 points and 10 assists, in part because of Zach Edey's ability to finish inside and to finish in the paint. He's got great hands. He's a fundamentally sound basketball player. The concerns are the concerns. How is he going to be able to defend, and how is he going to be able to maybe keep up pace-wise and speed-wise and all that kind of things. But, he's just a really, really darn good basketball player. And I like what the Grizzlies said. It's like, not how is Zach Edey going to match up with other teams, but how are other teams going to match up with us? I think it was Zach Kleiman that said that during the introductory kind of thing. Yeah, and I think that's a really good philosophy. Zach Edey's going to be kind of a unicorn in this league. There's not anybody in this league that is as big as he is, that is as skilled as he is around the basket and inside the paint. There's very few people currently in the NBA with the skill set he has. So I think that's a tremendous advantage for the Grizzlies, and I'm really excited to see how it's going to work.
So you believe he will step right into the starting lineup?
I believe he can. I don't think he necessarily has to, and I don't know if there's any more moves yet to be made. It's looking a little slow on that front, but yeah, I think he can step in and fill, sort of like a Derek Lively role with the Mavericks. For the Mavericks this year, I'm not saying he's as quite as athletic and nimble and able to jump and all those things quite like Derek Lively can. But, it's in that role, cleaning up things in the paint and doing, working the pick and roll and, getting points off the offensive glass and being somewhat of a rim protector. Yeah, I think he can be great at that. And I've been pro Zach Edey for a couple of years now. The guy's just a really, really darn good basketball player. And the fact that he's so tall is just icing on the cake. It really makes him different, I think.
So with Edey, filling that need of the big bruising center, where do you put the Grizzlies in the Western Conference?
That's a good question. I put them up there. They're gonna certainly be up there. I think with the moves that Oklahoma City's made this offseason, bringing in Alex Caruso, and then the latest move they brought in, bringing Hartenstein. I mean, probably a little bit of an overpay for Isaiah Hartenstein, but when you're Oklahoma City, you kind of got to do what you got to do. But I think those moves make them better. I think Denver's lost maybe a step or two, but they still got the best player in the world, so I think Denver would still be ahead of Memphis in the pecking order. I would still think Dallas and Minnesota may be ahead of Memphis in the pecking order, but beyond that, I would put Memphis ahead of the Clippers, the Lakers, the Warriors, Sacramento. So yeah, I would probably peg them maybe for like a 5 or 6 seed. If things play to form the way I see it, and who knows? They might end up surprising us all and grab another 2 seed. But just on paper at least, that's where I would peg them. I think I would peg them behind Dallas, Minnesota, Denver, and OKC for sure.
See, we've talked about it. That's why I think that's the group. Like I think there's a group of teams that are the ones you mentioned that with. Oklahoma City certainly looks really good. Like
on paper, they look terrific.
Getting Caruso helps them. Giddey kind of had gotten almost out of the rotation. Caruso, what he does on the defensive end, and he can knock down threes, which is really all they kind of need. He's a perfect. They need 3-and-D guys around SGA and company, and then to get Hartenstein in the middle. That's pretty good additions for a team that was already really good. Minnesota. It certainly looks really good, and we'll see. They've salary cap, but it seems as though they're going to try and run it back with what they've got. And Anthony Edwards just keeps getting better and better, and so they're going to be good. Denver, I do think, took a big loss. I think they've taken a step down, but yes, when you have Jokic and you have Jamal Murray, that's still a really good combination. That and Aaron Gordon and Michael Porter Jr. They still got other good players around those two guys. So they're certainly in that group. And then Dallas, again, they made the NBA Finals. They made some changes, and I do think Klay Thompson makes them better because I think he's a better for what they need him to do than the guys that were in that role before. So certainly they're in that group, and then I think the Grizzlies are right there in that group. I think they're a part of that group that's 4 or 5 teams at the top of the Western Conference.
Definitely, and I think it's going to be interesting to see what New Orleans looks like too. I think they've the
DeJounte Murray. I love the DeJounte Murray. We'll see what happens with Brandon Ingram if they end up trading him or whatever. But Murray, they needed a point guard, and Murray certainly fills that. Does a great job, and it lets C.J. McCollum move off the ball where he's better, like he was when he was with Damian Lillard. I think that they definitely got better.
Yeah, I think those teams, the four I named plus Memphis and New Orleans, I think that's your top 6 in whatever order you want to put them in. That's certainly debatable, and we'll see. But I think those 6 are probably above the Clippers, above the Lakers. I'm out on the Warriors.
I don't think the Warriors. Yeah, Sacramento's good. I still think Sacramento can be really good.
Yeah, Sacramento can be. You never know what's going to happen with San Antonio and Wembanyama and their draft pick Castle, right?
Yep.
It's going to be interesting to see those young guys coming together in San Antonio. But no, I think there's a kind of a 6 six cut, or any way you want to look at it. You might say there's a top four and then maybe a top two and then another two and the rest, or maybe just throw Memphis and New Orleans in with the four I mentioned. But anyway, it's super competitive. It's going to be a super competitive conference as always, and even if Memphis doesn't do anything else, if they just bring back Luke Kennard, or even if they happen to lose Luke Kennard, I mean, I still think they're in reasonably good shape to certainly rebound and certainly contend for a top four spot in the conference and the home court advantage.
The thing too, you talk about San Antonio. They get Chris Paul. Now there's talk that maybe they're in play for DeMar DeRozan. So San Antonio is maybe trying a little harder to win right now than most people thought they would. Could go get, if they could get DeRozan, which is crazy to me that he is still out there, and there just doesn't seem to be a whole lot out there for him because teams don't have the money to spend. So, San Antonio could, if they swoop in and get him, and I'm like, wow, okay, Chris Paul, DeMar DeRozan, Wembanyama. I mean, and to have a couple, if you had Paul and DeRozan, that is great veterans to have around for a really young team.
It definitely is. I mean, I hope Chris Paul's role is going to be very, very limited. I hope it would be almost like a mentor type of role, more so than a player that's going to get serious minutes night in and night out. Because I think if you're San Antonio, your commitment should be developing those young guys in that young core, and instead of,
and Paul will be. I think Paul is a great mentor for Castle.
Yeah,
you bring him in, you're expecting Castle to be this great defensive player like he was in college, but he's got to learn the NBA game. Chris Paul certainly can teach him that.
Yeah, there's no doubt. So I mean, yeah, it's an astute move if they use him right. I mean, I hope they're not picking him up because they think, well, he's going to be our guy and he's going to play lots of minutes, but kind of like a Derrick Rose situation, that didn't work out the way Memphis had envisioned. So hopefully it'll work out better for San Antonio. But yeah, no, it's going to be, the Western Conference is still where all the action is, it seems like, outside of, Boston and maybe the Knicks and maybe Milwaukee and Philadelphia. I mean, they've got dudes, but they just don't have the aura, as the kids say,
Well, the thing, we just talk about the depth. When you start listing the Western Conference teams, again, you name 5 of them, and then you go, oh, yeah, but then there's also New Orleans, who looks pretty. And then you go, oh, yeah, by the way, the Lakers still have LeBron James, Anthony Davis, and company. And then you go to the next, and then you go, Sacramento, and you get down to the 10th team, and you're still talking man, these are pretty good. In the East, it's you get through those top 3 or 4, and you're yeah, I don't know what else there is. It's Boston, the Knicks, Philadelphia. Again, Milwaukee, when you got Giannis, you have to be in there. And then Indiana, maybe. And then after that, you're there's nobody else in the East that has a chance to do anything.
Yeah, and it's going to be interesting to see where Paul George ends up, because that could certainly.
He's in Philly.
Oh, he did sign with Philly?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I missed that on my.
So they've got their big 3 now.
On my sabbatical. Okay, well, good. So that's a good pickup for them then.
No, it is. I don't know if it makes them as good. I don't know if it's good enough to be with the Knicks in Boston. But they should be pretty darn good.
Well, because the problem with Paul George and now his new teammate Joel Embiid is those guys can never stay on the floor. I mean, you're going to be lucky if you get 30, 40 games together with those guys.
Yeah, you don't know. That's the thing.
Yeah,
with George for sure. All right, we need to take a break. When we come back, I want you. I've been waiting for you to get back because I want to talk Team USA soccer.
Let's do it.
Because you're a soccer guy. Unlike myself, you're a soccer guy. So we'll talk about that coming up in just a moment. This hour of the program is brought to you by the Big Green Egg. I mentioned fired up the Big Green Egg the other day. So gave it the day off yesterday for the 4th of July, but I'm sure I'll be firing it up this weekend as well. The Big Green Egg, the best grill there is, last grill you'll ever need to buy. Go to biggreenegg.com or go to the Ace Hardware stores around town or Hamilton Fireplace to check out the Big Green Egg and all the egg accessories. Back with more of John Varlas right after this on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Broadcasting from the Family Leisure Studio, we are Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
For retro cruiser styling packed with modern innovations, riders of all skill levels choose a Honda Rebel. Incredible motorcycles with a stripped-down style and a full package of features. Both the 300 and the 500 offer compact power inside a lightweight frame. Combined with a low slim seat, the Rebel is easy to start on. And with new colors from this year, they are impossible to ignore. Go to DeSoto Honda to check out the 2023 Honda Rebels. Cruisers with premium style and performance to enjoy every second. History as a racer with the law with your own.
Looking for a way to elevate your engine's performance? Start with Napa Full Synthetic Engine Oil. It provides faster oil flow for hot and cold temperature protection in the harshest driving conditions. Regular use can help your engine run cleaner and longer by defending against sludge and buildup, improving overall engine performance and fuel efficiency while increasing the time between oil changes. Make the switch without slowing down. Feed your ride Napa Full Synthetic Engine Oil. Available now at Napa locations nationwide.
Nestled in the heart of East Memphis, located corner of Park and Cherry, is a beautiful residential neighborhood. I'm here at Town Village Audubon Park interviewing a new resident, Carolyn. Share with us why you chose Town Village.
Well, if your parents or special friends need to make that big move, let me share with you my experience. It was tough for me to leave home, but then I discovered Town Village. I would like to highly recommend Town Village to you and your loved ones. After looking at all the amenities and meeting all the people and staff, I was hooked. From restaurant, bistro, 3 meals per day, housekeeping, transportation, security, health care, physical therapy, exercise room, and even a heated pool and spa. Come see us and make your new home in Town Village.
Visit us and call Daniel at Town Village Audubon Park at 901-374-7342. There's no place like home, Town Village.
Cork and Barrel in Hernando, Mississippi, a southern gem for over 15 years. Check out their bigger, better, bolder new location, 2595 McInvale Road, Hernando. Huge selection, incredible pricing. Choose from hundreds of bourbons, tequilas, rum, scotch, and vodka. Over 1,000 wines from fine to very simple picnic wines. At Cork and Barrel, it's all about serving you. Open Monday through Saturday, 10 to 10, where the fun begins and the liquor and wine never end. Cork and Barrel, 2595 McInvale Road, I-55, Hernando, exit 280.
For all your roofing and home repair needs, it's Pinnacle Roofing and Restoration. Give my man Brandon McCullough a call at 901-438-5084. Tell him you heard it here on Sports 56 Mornings, or go online to newroofmemphis.com. They offer financing with many different plans and options to choose from, including a 6, 12, or 18-month same-as-cash option. They'll work with your insurance company or out of pocket, whatever it takes to get that roof fixed. Pinnacle is part of the Roofs for Troops program. Any veteran, active or retired, you get a $250 rebate on the purchase of a new roof. Pinnacle does both residential and commercial roofing, so business owners, property managers out there, along with homeowners, if you have a leak or any other roofing problem, call Brandon today. They'll come out and do a free roof inspection. They are licensed, bonded, and insured, and a member of the Better Business Bureau. If you need work around the home, they can do that as well. Carpentry work, exterior painting. They can replace gutters, put up fencing and siding, rotten wood repair. If you need shingles installed, Brandon is a certified shingle installer. This is a locally owned and operated company. It's Pinnacle Roofing and Restoration, quality work at a very reasonable price. Give Brandon a call at 901-438-5084 or go online to newroofmemphis.com.
Welcome back here to the Family Leisure Studios. Sports 56 Mornings on this Friday, July the 5th. Eli Savoy, joined by John Varlas here in studio. All right, John, since you're the soccer guy, explain to me, in your idea, what your idea is, why are our American men so bad?
It's complicated, Eli. It really is. It's complicated, and there's so many things that kind of feed into it. I mean, there's, the whole United States Soccer Federation. How is that run? The whole model, the entire youth model system of soccer in America. Where it's essentially pay to play, and it prices a lot of kids out that might otherwise, have an opportunity to contribute. I mean, that's a problem. I mean, specifically this year, though, I think the problem is twofold. I think the players aren't quite as good as maybe some segments of the United States soccer media and the U.S. soccer fan base have rated them out to be. They throw the term around golden generation, which is, a generation of soccer players that basically comes up at the same time, and then they go on to do something special together.
Yeah.
This is not that. These are good players. They've gone to Europe to play, which is great for them personally, but when you go over to Europe and you don't actually play, you don't get the minutes, you can't really develop as a player like you should. So that's part of it. But the biggest part of it is just Greg Berhalter.
So you blame him too?
I totally blame him. He's
why? Okay, why is it what like? Because I don't know soccer. Like, is it the strategy? Like, why is it believed that he is such a big problem?
It's a situation where, and this was an interesting stat, and I me, I don't care for analytics, but there was a really interesting stat that Taylor Twellman, who used to play for the U.S. national team, great American soccer player, he posted, and it was basically an aggression stat, and I'm, without getting too far in the weeds of it, the U.S. was like the least aggressive team in this Copa America, where and the point of that is, if you're not as talented as the other teams, you got to be aggressive. You got to do the little things. To put it in basketball terms, you got to dive for loose balls. You got to take charge. Take charges. You got to make the hustle plays. And that's essentially what this United States team wasn't doing in this particular Copa America tournament, and what they haven't done a lot of the times under Greg Berhalter. And I think that's a problem too. I think the mindset is, if you've got a squad that's maybe not as talented, you got to outwork everybody, and I don't think this U.S. team has that, and I think it comes from the top. And I think Greg Berhalter has proven, not just this tournament, he's proven over the course of his results that he's done less with more.
My thing is, like, I look at it, and again, I go, well, there's been many other coaches that also haven't, we haven't been good. So it's like, is it just him, or is it just like we just don't have the players?
No, other coaches actually have been successful. Jurgen Klinsmann took the United States to the semifinals of this very tournament. I don't remember who the coach was, but U.S. has been to the final 8 of the World Cup before. There's been some moments. When Tim Howard was the goalkeeper. That was a really good team, and I apologize for not remembering who the coach of that team was. So there's been moments. The potential is there, and it's not, you hear this all the time. Well, our best athletes don't play soccer. Well, our best athletes are playing soccer. It's just a different form of athlete. These guys are tremendous athletes. They're tremendous soccer players. There's just a disconnect.
Well, that's my thing. Was like, we're losing to Panama. They have 4 million people in their entire country. We should be able to weed through and find enough players to beat Panama.
But that's the thing. Losing to Panama in that one particular match is not a player thing. It's not a lack of America producing talent thing. That game standing on its own is just a one-off thing where it was an idiotic move by one guy to put them shorthanded. Definitely that. And then when you're shorthanded, it's always an uphill battle when you're shorthanded for so long in the match. But the whole preparation for this cup. They don't get a chance to play very many competitive friendlies. The like I mentioned before, the players overseas aren't getting match time. It's just a difficult situation. And like I said, there's really a lot of factors that factor into it. And we could talk about this for hours and hours. And trust me, people have, and they still are. But it's just time for a change. It's just really gotten stale. Guys like Bob Bradley, Bruce Arena, Jurgen Klinsmann that I've mentioned, they've had teams that maybe on paper, top to bottom, them weren't as talented, but they've been able to achieve, more success than what Greg Berhalter's doing. And it's one of those things where, you kind of wonder what Greg Berhalter has on the higher ups in the U.S. Soccer Federation that's kept him employed for this long. I mean, he's just not the man for the job, Eli. And it would be, it would be interesting to see what somebody else can do with this group. I mean, they're good players.
Well, you're hosting the darn World Cup. You don't want to embarrass yourself in a couple of years.
It's a really important opportunity, and that's why I think they have to get this coaching situation right. They've got to. In my opinion, they've got to get Berhalter out of there and get somebody that's gonna be the man for the moment in 2026. Because, like you said, you're hosting. It's a great opportunity to show how far American soccer has come, because it has come far. It's done some good things. Like I said, it's produced great players and a lot of good moments and a lot of very, very competitive teams and tournaments. This was not one of them, and unfortunately, under Greg Berhalter, we haven't seen very many of these moments in competitive tournaments. So I hope they make a change. If not, you also it's like kind of like a Tubby Smith situation at the University of Memphis. You're risking losing a lot of the fan base and a lot of support at this point. So that's a part of it too. But it's frustrating. USA should not lose. That group, Eli, was very, very easy. Bolivia,
yes, exactly.
Bolivia and Panama were, that should have been 6 points right there, and that's enough to get you through to the next round. So I mean, I don't know what to tell you.
He is John Varlas from the Daily Memphian, brought to you each and every week by Shoot 360 Memphis. John, thank you very much. We'll talk to you again next week.
I had a lot of fun with you. I appreciate that a lot. Thanks, buddy.
Genesis Diamonds, Poplar and Perkins Extended is where you'll find them. That's where you're going to find unbelievable selection of jewelry. If you're thinking about getting engaged, you need to pick that perfect engagement ring out, go see the folks at Genesis Diamonds. They can certainly help you do that. They are not commissioned salespeople. They're not there to pressure you into buying something more expensive. They're there to help you pick out that perfect piece of jewelry, educate you on what you should be looking for, what affects pricing, all of these different things. You're going to get a great price as well, direct importer pricing, unbelievable selection of diamonds over there at Genesis Diamonds. But whatever it is, whether it's that engagement ring, whether it's a beautiful pair of earrings or a necklace or maybe one of those pre-owned Rolex watches, you're going to get great service, great price, and they have an unbelievable selection. Genesis Diamonds, Poplar and Perkins Extended. Up next, kicking off hour number 2, KJ Wright in studio on Sports 56 mornings here on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Just delicious sandwiches, crisp salads, and quick quality meals made with the freshest ingredients and no artificial trans fats, MSG, high fructose corn syrup, or artificial colors and dyes. Around here, a lot of thought goes into what we put into our food and what we take out of it. Because you're not just taking a bite, you're getting a taste of who we are. New items are constantly being created to expand our menu for all tastes and special diets, vegan and gluten-free options available, convenience, and on-time delivery you can count on. It's just a click away at jasonsdeli.com. So whether you need to feed 5 people or 5,000, the team at Jason's Deli, they have the credentials and the commitment to keep you satisfied. Freshness is nearby at Jason's Deli, locations at Ridgeway in the Parkway Center, Poplar in Highland, Germantown Road in Cordova, and on Goodman Road in Olive Branch. Jason's Deli is wholesome food and no surprises.
Celebrate July 4th with savings at Lowe's. For a limited time, save on the essentials you need to make your garden pop for summer, like Miracle-Gro 25-quart potting mix. Get 2 bags for just $16. And get up to 40% off. Plus, save an extra $50 on every $500 you spend on select major appliances. Hurry, these deals won't last long, because Lowe's knows summer savings. Valid through 7/10. Miracle-Gro excludes Alaska and Hawaii. Appliance savings vary based on purchase amount, excluding supply. See Lowe's.com for more details. While supplies last.
Country music singer-songwriter Kylie Morgan absolutely loves her Genesis Diamond ring.
I got so many compliments as soon as I got the ring, and continue to get compliments on it. It looks really pretty on my finger.
Kylie's husband Jay heard folks in the music industry raving about Genesis, and he also did a lot of homework on his own.
When it came to finding the ring, he took it very seriously. He did all the research. I think he knows more about Genesis, you can just feel the happiness. You know that they're helping find something that symbolizes the love that you have for your partner, and you can feel that as soon as you walk through the door.
Genesis Diamonds at Poplar and Perkins Extended. I'm Gary York. I'm the service director at Lexus in Memphis. Our service department wants to be more than just a place where you get your oil changed. We do glass repair, windshield replacement, recalibration of your camera and sonar systems, even wheel repair, tire replacement, all the things you would expect from a luxury automotive dealer. Please check out our website. You can schedule your appointment, check out our specials, hours of operation, or if you'd like to do it in person, please reach out to one of our associates at 901-271-5199.
We are Sports 56, WHBQ Memphis, and W253DF Memphis, Flynn Broadcasting Stations.
Sports 56 traffic.
Good morning. We have seen a couple of wrecks out here this morning. Just give yourself a little bit of extra travel time just to play it safe. Traffic still moving right now down I-40 over here at Germantown Parkway all the way to Sycamore View Road. It's been quiet so far in northbound 55 coming up from DeSoto County up through South Haven. Hey, Havenly Showers is your curbless shower specialist. Transform your bathroom with a tub to curbless shower conversion. Log on to havenlyshowers.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Sports 56 mornings on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by James Gaddis Jewelers.
Diamonds are forever. Woo!
Here once again, Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
The second hour of Sports 56 Mornings is brought to you each and every day by James Gaddis Jewelers. 4900 Poplar between Mendenhall and St. Nick, and on the web at gaddisjewelers.com. They are your bridal, engagement, and anniversary jeweler headquarters. Looking for that special diamond ring, that special wedding ring, or personally designed wedding set? You need to head over to James Gaddis Jewelers. They are full-service jewelers with two-bench jewelers ready to serve you. All their diamonds are independently graded and certified. They know there's a lot of competition, so they make sure there's a price point to suit everyone's budget. Perhaps you're looking for that special watch, custom-made jewelry of all types, gemstones, bracelets, necklaces, earrings, pendants. So many choices at James Gaddis Jewelers, plus the romantics will love the one-of-a-kind estate and vintage jewelry. Layaway and financing is available. You want to sell your gold, silver, and diamonds? James Gaddis will give you a great price on that. Plus, if you need something appraised, James is a certified appraiser. Just head over to James Gaddis Jewelers, 4900 Poplar Avenue, your family's jeweler.
It is hour number 2, Sports 56 Mornings, 8:05 here in the Family Leisure Studios. Eli Savoy, Zach Boyd with you. And it's a pleasure to be joined in studio now to kick off hour number 2 by the pride of Olive Branch High School, the former Seattle Seahawk, the Super Bowl champion, now a coach with the San Francisco 49ers, in town with his big alumni charity basketball game that's going to be going on tomorrow night. It is KJ Wright. KJ, what's going on, man?
Top of the morning. Thank you for having me.
You last time we had you on, you talked about how early you get up. So you've probably been up for a few hours already.
I got a workout in, nice swim. Had my morning coffee, so I'm up and ready.
Does it? Because you've been living on the West Coast for so long. Does the Central Time Zone confuse you now? Or because you probably have just adjusted to the West Coast.
I've been on the West Coast since 2011, ever since I got drafted to the Seahawks. And I'm 2 hours. So right now it's 6 o'clock over there. But hey, the early bird gets the worm. The early bird gets the worm every single time. And so got to get up and at it.
So how often do you get back to town?
Yeah, I try to come back at least twice a year. When I played ball, I came right after the season. Boom, come right after the season, see the family, unwind, unplug. I'm staying at my mom's house, stay at my dad's house. And then I always came back in the summertime. I always wanted to do a football camp. Obviously, this year I'm doing my charity alumni basketball game. 4th of July time, the kiddos love coming around, their cousins and family, grandparents. And so I always try to come twice a year. It's far. I don't know if you've been to Seattle, Washington.
I've never been up there.
It's a trip to get back to Memphis. And so I always got to come back, show love, to the city and see the fam.
Have you been back Do you get a chance to get back to Mississippi State to like any of their football games?
No, I can't. During the season,
because
yeah,
you were playing obviously, and now coaching,
yeah.
you're not gonna be able to.
Not at all. And so I went to the spring game.
Okay.
I came to as many spring games as I can. We always had Super Bulldog weekend. I watched those guys on TV. They need to start winning some more ball games. And so hopefully with the new coach that's coming in, get this program turned around. It's just so dang hard with this transfer portal, with the NIL. It's just hard to compete with the top dogs. And so, we're still hanging in there. We're competitive. But when you talking about compete with the top, it's a beast right now.
Well, and it's gotten harder now. Texas and Oklahoma coming into the SEC.
Man, I forgot about
it's like
hey, but as long as we beat Ole Miss, we can lose every game. As long as we win that Egg Bowl and bring home that Egg Bowl trophy, life is good.
KJ Wright joining us here in studio. So do you like, now that when you see the NIL stuff that's going on, do you think like, man, I would love to be playing college football now?
I'm 15 years too old. I'm 15 years too old. And I looked at it when it first happened. I'm like, this is about to be a mess. Like, this thing's about to be a mess. It's about to be the Wild Wild West. And then I look at it. It's the Wild Wild West. And I look at it. First of all, I'm happy that these young men are getting paid. Let's get that clear. Like, I was one of those guys. We talk about one of those guys that went to bed hungry. Like, once your meal plan ran out, you're struggling at nighttime to eat. So that was a real thing. I just wish that it was more structured and regulated. When I heard NIL, I assumed like, okay, your jerseys are being sold, you're doing commercial, you're doing stuff. But right now, it's like when recruiters go into your house, kids are saying, what do you have for me for NIL? Mm-hmm. Versus these young men got to understand, majority of you guys are not going to make it. That's the God honest truth. Majority of you guys are not going to make it to the NFL. We cannot get away from go to school, earn your degree, and understand that you're going to have to use this thing if you want to, somewhat make it in the real world. And so it's this instant gratification that a lot of these young men and women are looking for. I don't want them to miss the big picture. You got to go to school, get that education that you're going to need 5 years down the line when you graduate.
And the thing, too, you mentioned, I mean, the NIL is one thing, but then the transfer portal, like you obviously, for your perspective, is like being a free, if you were in the NFL, like every offseason you were a free agent and you could go out to and put yourself up for bid, basically. Like, and that's what it is. Like every offseason you are, all right, what's out there for me elsewhere?
And it's like, how do I build a program? How do I build it from the ground up? How do I coach these guys without them getting mad saying, I'm going to go transfer? I know a few college coaches, and they say that the players are threatened. Like, if you talk to me crazy, if you're not playing me, if you're not promising me that this starting spot, I'm leaving. I'm going to another school, and there's nothing you can say or do to convince me to stay. And so it's a mess. I'm personally not a fan of it.
Yeah.
And college football, it won't see me. I'm staying in the pros.
I was going to ask you, dude. You have no desire to coach at the college level.
No desire. I'd rather go to Pop Warner Pee Wee football before I go to college. And I look at it. Right now we have a break. We had right when minicamp and OTA's in, we got a 40-day window. These the college coaches, once the season ends, these guys are recruiting. They're on the road. They're traveling. And so I'm not the best recruiter to ask you to, hey, come play football. I just want to give me my guys. Yeah. Let's draft them, free agency, and let's go win some championships. And simple as that.
So what's it been like for you now? You guys, as you said, you've gone through the off-season training, all this stuff. Like, what's it like to be on that coaching side of things?
It's different. It's different. Just first off, to hear people call me coach, like that was something that was surreal to me. And hear them say, "Yes, sir," "No, sir." I'm like, I'm not that far removed from the game. Like,
I'm not a sir yet.
Yeah, I'm not a sir yet. But I kid you not, I remember my first coaching moment. One of my linebackers, he was running a blitz. And he ran the blitz wrong, right? And I said, hey, man, you can't do it like this. And he's like, no, coach, I got this. Like, I'm supposed to do that. And I had a moment where I was like, is he right and I'm wrong? Like, And so this offseason, I made sure every single day I got in my playbook to make sure that I'm convicted, that I know this playbook like the back of my hand. Because when the bullets get, when things get real, when everything is rolling, everything is fast, Coach KJ has got to be on his P's and Q's. And I got to be able to come to you saying, hey, man, this is how it's supposed to be done. This is how we're doing it. And I want the players to understand that I'm on my A game. I'm not going to be one of those former players that just shows up.
Yeah.
And that's just, out there, teaching you how to play linebacker. Understand the playbook. Get your foundation right so you can further give your expertise to the guys so they're able to play 100, full speed and be able to make a fantastic career for themselves.
So when do you guys when will you start camp?
Camp is July 24th.
Okay, so you still got about almost 3 weeks before it's camp time.
Yes.
And then it's
and
full
then I'm
bore
gonna be
ahead
from 4 a.m. to 11 p.m. grinding. And I tried to understand. I was like, why are the coaches in the building so long? But I kid you not, Eli, there is always something to do.
Really?
Film breakdown, drawing cards, preparing for the opponent this week. You can start preparing for the opponent next week. There's always something to do. And so one of my coaches is like, you're never done with your work. You're just putting it off until tomorrow. And so, but I tell you, at the end of the day, I haven't experienced it. Once those Sundays come around, once that Monday Night Football hit, once the Dallas Cowboys come into town it's going to be all worth it. And so my wife, I'm so thankful for her. She gave me the green light to go do it. Because obviously, she's a single mom. She's a single mom.
Yes, exactly.
Like,
especially during the season.
You're a single mom. Dad won't be around long. And so, but for my mental health, like Sundays was kicking my tail last year. Like I was really, I'm gonna say in a dark place, but I was really, really missing ball these past 2 years. And so I'm glad that I got back to it.
Yeah, because I would imagine, at what age did you start playing football?
I was playing in my grandma's backyard at 10 years old. But organized football, I would say 7th grade. Organized football, 7th grade.
So you're talking, 20 years of you just were playing football. That's what you did. And you're constantly thinking football, preparing for it and everything else. And then all of a sudden you're I would imagine, that's what am I doing? What do I do?
And what people got to understand is I've been told my whole life what to do. I've had my schedule. I've had my structure. This is what my life looks like. And it doesn't change. And once you hit, quote unquote, the real world, it is real. It's I can't just go to the facility and get free breakfast, or I can't just hop on this plane for free and go travel the world. I gotta pay for my airline ticket now. I gotta cook for myself. I can't just throw my clothes in the bin and get my clothes washed for me. And people, when you get done, we all go through it. We all go through that mental dark place of sadness. Some guys get depressed. And it's a real deal. And I was one of those guys that prepared. I prepared for what's coming. I did different things in the off season. I got me all these got my degree, all this stuff. But you cannot prepare for when the game tells you goodbye. Mm-hmm. There is no preparing for when the game says you can no longer play anymore. And so it was a beast. My first 6 months I was happy because I retired on my own.
Yeah.
But once that 6 months ran out, no, it got real. It got really real.
And the good thing for you, I guess you're looking at it, you came out of it healthy.
Yep.
Some guy, that's the thing. You don't want it to be, you had to retire because of injuries and other things, and you don't know. But you've come out of it, seemingly very healthy, which is a really good thing.
Absolutely. I had concussion. I had 2 concussions. I had 4 surgeries, but I was able to walk away on my own. And I remember when that moment was coming, I played with the Raiders my last year, but their free agency, no one called me. No one called me. My year 10 with the Seahawks, I kicked tail. I was balling. I'm like, okay, I'm going to be a top priority free agent. When I tell you no one offered me a contract until preseason week 4,
wow.
One of the worst moments of my life was having your phone go dry. driving past the Seahawks facility while they was practicing and going to training camp, looking at all your boys on Instagram saying, "You're 8, you're 9, hashtag let's get it," and I'm sitting at home.
Why do you think, like, why was that? Like, were you, like, and I just use air quotes here, like, too old? Like, what?
I was going to year 11. I was a linebacker, and this was COVID year. This is after the COVID year. So what people forget, the salary cap shrunk because the NFL lost a lot of money the previous year. And so what happens was I got squeezed. The receivers got their money. The left tackles got their money. The top guys got their money. And when it was looking for money for KJ, the money was gone. And so
they could go get a rookie that pay a lot less than a guy that's going into year 11.
Yeah, that's the nature of the business. So I was looking at one point. I was like, am I gonna have to play for vet minimum? Am I gonna have to go and after my best year and play for $1.5 million? People are like, KJ, that's a lot of day. In the NFL world, for someone of my caliber, it's not a lot. But and I looked at it, but thankfully the Las Vegas Raiders called me. Gus Bradley, my defensive coordinator. It's like, KJ, would love to have you, man, but there's not a lot of money. I was like, Gus, at this point, man, I'll play for whatever. And so I was able to play my last year with the Raiders. And I wouldn't say that I didn't like football my last year, but I wasn't happy.
Really?
They had me on the bench. My wife and kids couldn't come out there with me because I started the season so late. And so I knew my last year with the Raiders, if the Seahawks don't sign me back, I'm gonna call it a career.
You'd come to grips with that.
I would call it a career, and so I did just that.
It seems to me like I'm curious from a player's perspective. Like when you have a guy on the team who holds out because he wants a new contract, or you got like the Aaron Rodgers situation this year where he's not there at the mandatory because he's on a trip to Egypt or whatever. From a player's perspective, do you understand it? Like, hey, it's a business and he's got to do what he's got to do in order to try and get his contract right? Or is there like, dude, get this done and get into camp?
Listen, I remember my first moment when I was in maybe high school or college. I remember Chris Jones. You remember Chris Johnson, the running back? He was holding out. And I was looking at my dad. I was like, Dad, why are these NFL players so selfish? Like, they got all this money. Like, what are they crying about? Just go to work and get your job done. Until I got on that other side. And I looked at it and I'm like, this is a business. And this may sound crazy, but it's not team first. It's not a team first business. This is I have to put myself first as an individual because the organizations do it all the time. When a player holds out for a new contract, fans go crazy, the media go crazy. But when the organization releases a player after they gave him a 4-year contract after year 2, you don't hear a thing from the media or the fans. What happened to this contract, guys, that you promised me that you would give me? What happened? It's crickets then. But when I hold out going into my contract year, it's a big uproar. It's met. And I've seen guys get hurt on their contract year. I've seen guys with 2 minutes left, one of my good friends, 2 minutes left in the playoffs. We're playing the Atlanta Falcons. He's going to probably get a $50 million contract. $50 million contract. And he gets hurt. He tears his ACL, and he didn't see a $2 million contract after that. So where's the uproar then? Yeah. And so I look at it from a player. It may sound bizarre, but dog, put yourself first. I remember Cam Chancellor. I don't know if you remember him. He held out until the season, and I was like, man, I wish Cam was here, but I'm not gonna say nothing, man. Handle your business. And so I totally get it from a business perspective when those guys, put themselves first.
Because it's always been weird to me that the NFL is the one of our sport where obviously there's the better chance of getting hurt, but you guys don't have the guaranteed contracts that the other sports have. And why is it that the players are so you can't they can't win that battle?
The guaranteed contracts? Yeah. The owners they would never do it. And granted, looking at it, it'll be a bad investment for them. It'll be a bad investment for those guys to give players guaranteed contracts. It is a collision every play. It is a collision. Like when you run the ball, when those linemen come off that rock and you bang heads, you bang helmets, when the receiver come across the middle and you smack that dude, like it is a very violent sport. And if I'm an owner, I can't give you a fully guaranteed contract because for you to see it healthy and play at that very high caliber, the chances are slim. I personally had 3 teammates lose in their careers.
Wow.
3 teammates and all with neck injuries.
Wow.
Yes, and so thankfully they're able to play with their kids. But and I'm telling you, like I told you, I had 2 concussions. Got knocked out seeing stars. Tore my knee, tore my wrist, labrum surgery, and so it's a violent game. You got to fight as much as you can while you are negotiating to get as much guaranteed money as possible. But to get guaranteed contracts is not happening.
When you had your first concussion, where it was you knew really bad, what is it scary? What's the emotion when it happens that first time?
I had 2 different experiences. My first one was playing the Minnesota Vikings. Adrian Peterson came into town, and they ran an ISO right up the middle, and I hit the fullback. Boom. Okay, next play. So they scored, right? Mm-hmm. They scored. I get to the sideline. I was like, Bobby Wagner, bro, what happened? How did they score a touchdown? And he looked at me, and he walked off and told my coach on me. To this day, I'm still mad at him. But he walked off and told my coach. My coach came over. He's like, hey, are you okay? I was like, yeah, I'm all right. And they was like, you don't know how they scored? I was like, nah. I was like, I don't know how they scored. So the doctors came over to me. He was like, hey, give me a concussion test. Yeah, you're concussed. My next one, we playing the Jacksonville Jaguars. It was a stretch play to my left. And once again, collided with the fullback. Boom. He hit the side of my temple. When I tell you, know how Tweety Bird sees stars and everything spinning and you looking. I was like, oh my God. And I tried to grab my mouthpiece and get up. I couldn't get up. I just laid on my back. And once the athletic trainer came to me, I was like, Strick, I'm effed up. I'm effed up. He was like, yes, you are. You are concussed. Lay down. And And so one thing that I did fight with the NFL, if a guy gets a concussion, he has absolutely no business stepping foot on that football field in 7 days. This is brain trauma. Your brain is in pain. Sit your butt down for a full week, fully recover, and there's no reason that an NFL player should go, a college player, high school player, should play football the following Sunday, Friday, or Saturday until he's fully repaired from his concussion.
No doubt. Hey, can you hang around for a little while longer for another segment?
Let's get it.
Because I want to obviously we got to talk about your game, but I also there's so many things I want to talk to you about because I also want to talk about again your foundation, the stuff you do with the financial literacy and stuff like that. So can you hang out for a little while?
Let's do it.
KJ Wright joining us in studio. Interesting stuff. We'll be back with more right after this. Sport 56 98.5 FM.
Be sure to follow us at Sports 56 WHBQ on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube to watch live video of our shows. Stay up to date with station events and have chances to win prizes. Don't miss out on anything that's going on. Follow us at Sports 56 WHBQ.
Everyone loves home improvement. South Haven Supply and Warehouse 51 makes it easy. A real hardware store run by 3 generations of a real hardware family where you can get it all. Whether it's repairs, remodeling, or new building, kitchens, bathrooms, tiles, tubs, vanities, sinks, mirrors, lighting, furniture, even door hardware. All the latest designs as well as timeless classics. And if outdoor fun is on your mind, they have the big green egg and accessories. South Haven Supply and Warehouse 51, 8560 Highway 51. Easy home improvement.
East Memphis Ace Hardware is more than just a hardware store. It's really a customer service store with 20 employees along with complete inventory of items. Big or little, finding what you need is easy. Choosing from a complete selection of Big Green Egg as well as Traeger and River Grills. And the Garden Center has everything for your yard. You can get glass cut, repair screens, and the keys to a key fob programming. Tools, nuts, bolts, screws. You need it. East Memphis Ace Hardware has it. And they're just down the street at the corner of Ritz and White Station.
There are many real estate companies out there, but then there's Banyan Tree Realtors on the Cottonville Town Square. They're hands-on, family-owned boutique real estate companies whose agents have been offering exceptional attention to their clients for over 40 years. In an ever-changing world, Banyan Tree continues to maintain a small-town personal charm while providing a worldwide connection through its internet marketing presence. Personal service will never go out of style at Banyan Tree Realtors. Their agents are people you can trust, offering service you deserve. From residential homes to commercial properties, farmland, land lots, and historical houses, Banyan Tree has the expertise you can rely on. So if you're downsizing, upsizing, moving in, or moving on, give Banyan Tree Realtors a call today. Craig Smith and Mary Jean Smith and their agents are ready to serve you. Call today at 901-620-8920 or 901-359-2520.
They're taking care of beerness in Memphis right on the river with Grind City Brewing and all of their great products. Look, this was a dream come true for a father and son duo. And if you have not been to that brewery right on the river, just to the north of downtown, you're really missing something special. And now you can't miss their products. Wherever you go, you see a brand new label. It's clean, it's beautiful, it's distinctive. You'll know Grind City Brewing, and of course you know their products like Poppy's Pills, that great Pilsner, or Tiger Tail, that very creative craft malt liquor. There's the new Thaddeus Amber Lager. That is absolutely a great light beer. There's the India Pale called Godhopper. It's outstanding. And then there's the Belga, the Belgian-style wheat ale. They keep bringing hits at Grind City Brewing.
Everyone at Dinstall's Fine Candies and Chocolates, hope you had a wonderful 4th of July holiday. The stores are back open today, and this weekend you can take advantage of this week's Summer Sizzler Special. This week it's the Cashew Crunch, the world-famous Cashew Crunch. Of course, you can have any of the fine delectables at Dinstall's shipped anywhere in the country, all their great chocolates. As I mentioned, the Cashew Crunch, and don't forget all those delicious chocolate-covered fruits. It is all outstanding at Dinstall's. They've been making them for over 122 years. 5 convenient locations in Germantown, in Collierville, Pleasant View where they make the candies, also Laurelwood and downtown Memphis. The best candies, the best chocolates in the country. It's Dinstall's Fine Candies and Chocolates. They've been putting smiles on people's faces for over 122 years.
Sports 56 traffic.
Good morning. It's been pretty light out here as far as that traffic volume. It has picked up just a bit up through South Haven the last few minutes. 55 northbound up from DeSoto County. Still some rain showers in certain areas out here. Be careful. Traffic still moving at the moment. 40 east across the Hernando DeSoto Bridge coming over from West Memphis. Hey, Weimer's Jewelry, 7525 Highway 64 is your full-service family-owned jewelry store here in Memphis. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Now back to Sports 56 Mornings on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by James Gaddis Jewelers.
Don't you just love it?
Here once again, Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
Welcome back here in the Family Leisure Studios, 8:30 the time. KJ Wright, Super Bowl champion, joining us. He's got his big Olive Branch High School alumni charity basketball game coming up tomorrow night. We're going to talk about that in just a moment, but we're talking a lot about the NFL. He's now a quality control coach with the San Francisco 49ers. All right, we got to talk about the Super Bowls. You guys, you get the win, and you guys just, I mean, that game against the Broncos, it started from the very first play with the safety, everything else. Like, did you guys go in, like, did you just know going into that, like, we're going to beat these guys?
I remember in practice, we were in New York, and I was kneeling right next to Bobby, and I was like, hey, bro, this game does not have to be close. I kid you not, I said, this game does not have to be close. When I was watching the Denver Broncos on film, the highest scoring offense in NFL history, the all-prolific Peyton Manning, Wes Welker, Thomas, I looked at it. Those guys were good, but what was happening on the defensive side of the football, they was playing some crappy defenses. The defenses were horrendous that they were playing. And I knew when we stepped on that football field, they would not see anything remotely close to what we were bringing to the table. No one as fast as us, no one that hit as hard as us, no one that's as smart as us, no one that loves each other like we do. And I knew it was going to kick their tail. I didn't know it was going to be 43-8. I didn't see that. I kid you. I didn't see that. But I knew the score was not going to be close because I know that defense wins championships. I know what we brought to the table. And I just looked at the Denver Broncos and their offensive philosophy, their offensive concepts. It was basic football, Eli. And so once we got on the football field, we knew what they was running before the ball. Right. And that's a beautiful space to be in. If people want to watch what great defense look like, turn off the TV copy, just go to the all 22 and watch how we were moving, watch how we were connected, watch how we was hitting. That is what championship football is supposed to look like.
You guys, I mean, that defense was just loaded. I mean, it was when you just talk about the names and everything else, and you were the number one defense. What, 4 straight years?
4 years in a row, number one defense.
Number one defense in the league. Like, did you guys Did you just know you were the best team? Like, it was like, did you guys just was there the attitude when you took the field like teams can't do anything against us?
Brandon Meebang, he was our defensive tackle. He used to always say, "Them dudes over there, they scared of us." He was like, you could see that you could see like the intimidation, the fear in their eyes, like the way that they would be so safe and try to play conservative football. Like, dudes were really scared of us, and I'm telling you, when I played with some of the smartest guys on the planet, Richard Sherman, who doesn't get enough praise for his football IQ, will literally call out plays. He was like, "KJ, come here. I'm going to do this." Cam Chancellor, like, "Hey, bro, they running a drive basic, stay high." Bobby would be like, "KJ, watch DeAndre Hopkins coming over the top." Like, we were calling out plays. And what can an offense do with that? Yeah. What can y'all do when we know what y'all are doing? There's nothing you can do. And so it was so fun because we were so smart. We played so well together. We had our moments. Like, we're a bunch of there's testosterone flowing. Like, we're grown men. Like, we get mad. But at the end of the day, when we do get mad, when we do have our brotherly fights, we come together. We love each other, and it's bigger than any individual. It's bigger than us.
Who was the leader of that defense?
It's not even close. I'm going to let you guess. Who do you think was the leader of that defense?
Well, I mean,
you got Bobby, you got Cam, Sherm, you got myself, Michael Bennett. Who do you think it was? Earl Thomas. Who do you think?
I would have guessed Earl Thomas.
No. Without a doubt, the undeniable leader was number 31, Bam Bam Cam.
Really?
Cam Chancellor was the guy that we all looked to. Cam Chancellor was the voice. Cam was the guy that played through pain. When he spoke, you all eyes and all ears, and your mouth is shut. Like, Bam Bam Cam was the guy, and he was fair, he was poised. A lot of those guys were, I don't know, raw, radical, like lose their minds a lot of time. Cam never lost his mind. Really? He was cool, calm, collected, and he could talk to anybody on the football team. And love that dude. He was hands. I ranked the Legion of Boom. I went on NFL Network a few years ago. I ranked the top 5 Legion of Boom guys, and I put Cam as number 1.
Really?
I put Cam Chancellor as number 1.
So you guys get the Super Bowl win. You're back the next year. We know what happens at the end of that game. You guys got the chance to score the go-ahead touchdown, all that. Instead of giving the ball to Marshawn Lynch, the pass, it's intercepted, and the darn Patriots get another one. Mm-hmm. What was there, like, on the sideline as that happened and they throw it instead of giving it to Lynch? Like, what were you guys thinking, like the defense over there on the sideline?
I was standing on the 50-yard line. Jermaine Kearse made that phenomenal catch, the bobble catch. Boom. Okay. All right, we going. Let's keep going. We hand the ball to Marshawn. Oh, shoot. Oh, did he get it? Oh, dang, he didn't get it. Okay. All right, he's about to run the ball. Let's go. Okay. And so I remember standing at the 50-yard line. We'll come out in shotgun. I screamed out, I screamed out, "Why are we in shotgun?" And I'm walking towards Pete. I'm walking like, why are we? Ball snapped. And oh my goodness, you just looked at what happened. It's like, you're stunned. Yeah. You're numb. First of all, why the hell did we throw the ball? Second of all, how did he catch the football?
Yeah.
How did he how did he catch the interception? How did he run through Ricardo Lockett like that? And we talk about, like, deflated, like, so sad. Like, Cam, he tore his knee 2 days before that. Richard Sherman was playing with a torn elbow. Earl Thomas, like, we was playing through so much pain. We went through this whole season, and we literally gave the game away. I can handle losing. I've lost plenty of times in my life. If we would have ran the ball with Marshawn 3 times and lost, God dog it, you beat us. But for us to make that decision to throw it, it hurt my heart. And to double down on that, I love Pete Carroll. That's my guy. Mm-hmm. I love Pete Carroll for life. If he would have came in there and said, guys, I messed it up, like, that's on me. But to try to justify the decision, try to say, oh, we had one timeout, it was second down, that was in goal line. Coach, no, just that's on me. I messed up. I should have gave the ball to Marshawn. We could have moved forward as a football team. But when you talk about a gray, dark cloud was hovering over us for years, it took about 3 or 4 years for that sickness to get out of our stomachs in the organization. Wow. And it took for guys to leave for that to happen.
Because you told me during the break that you believe if you guys win that Super Bowl, you would have won the next year as well. You would have three-peated.
Not even close. No, who would have beat us? No, not even close. We would have three-peated because we had everyone coming back. Only person we lost was Clemens wasn't. I lied to you. Clemens left after the first Super Bowl. Everybody came back that following year.
So that had that big of an effect on the team.
When I say, like, we didn't trust each other anymore. That happy-go-lucky love that we had, that mess went away. It became an individualized thing. Guys started looking out for themselves. Guys didn't trust each other. Guys even didn't trust the quarterback. No, I've had conversations with Russ, and he was like, man, I felt like once that moment happened, guys looked at me differerently. And I think that's true. That's fair. That's fair of him to say. I'm not going to put it on him, but dang it, I wish he would have audibled. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, I wouldn't put that on him, but I wish he would have did that. I'm mad at the play call that came in. I'm mad that we ran a slant route. If you go throw the ball, sprint right. Sprint right, get Russ out the pocket and throw it to where he could see it. Not having a 5'10" quarterback throwing across the middle where a defensive lineman get his hands up, where a guy can get the interception. The whole play concept was trash. So run out, get Russ out the pocket, and run a pick play. So it's just one bad decision after another.
Your running back's nickname is Beast Mode. Give him the damn ball.
The damn ball.
Give him the damn ball.
And he would have fell into the end zone.
Yeah.
And it was, I believe it was second or third down. You run the ball twice. You run the ball twice or 3 times.
There's no doubt about that. It's amazing. What was your relationship like? Like the defensive guys, what were your relationship like with Russell Wilson?
It could have been better. It could have been better. It was I tell Russ all the time, I wish he would have had more presence in the locker room. I wish he would have built more relationships with the defensive guys. And I would say this about the defensive guys. We could have done a better job in building relationships with our quarterback. It wasn't what I wanted. You see how guys love Tom Brady. You see how guys love Aaron Rodgers. I wish we had that. I even went to the Raiders, and I saw how guys gravitated around Derek Carr.
Right.
Like Derek Carr was in the training room, working out with the guys, in the cafeteria eating with the guys. I wish I would have had more of that from Russ. And so for him to, get that rap, oh, he's a bad teammate, selfish guy, that's a bunch of BS. Good teammate, but I just wish he would have just connected and made more of an effort to hang around and socialize with guys.
What's it like in San Francisco with Brock Purdy? And kind of, because you're talking about a guy that comes as a Mr. Irrelevant and he's doing what he's doing. Mm-hmm. He seems like a great leader.
He is a great leader. I spend most of my time in my office, but when I do see him on the practice field, awesome guy, hanging around with the guys, gelling with the guys. Even with me, we talked about camping, talked about the good old days in Seattle. Really cool guy. The guys love him. The guys respect him, and he's off to a really good start.
All right, so tomorrow night is the big Olive Branch High School, your charity basketball game that you've done. How many? This is your fourth?
Year 3.
Year 3. This time you're doing it. It's Olive Branch versus Holly Springs.
Yes,
and you've got a women's game and then a men's game. Women tip off at
Women tip doors open at 5:30. Doors open at 5:30. Women tip off at 6 p.m.
All right. So, and you've got what, a slam dunk competition, stuff
Yes,
like that.
We're
too?
going to have food truck row. So when you come there, come hungry. We're going to have food truck row, and we're going to walk you through an experience of Olive Branch history, Holly Springs history, slam dunk contest. One of my friends passed away this past year. We're going to honor him at halftime. This is going to be, honestly, just a competitive, fun game. All proceeds are going to go to the Olive Branch student-athletes and the Holly Springs student-athletes. I made the tickets $25 this year. I pushed it a little more to just make sure we just maximize this opportunity. So I'm super excited to capture this moment. It's going to be a really fun night.
Who are some of the guys that are playing?
We got Nate Nash, DJ Biggs, who won the MVP last year, Trey Boyd. DJ Jeffries was supposed to be on the roster, but he signed with the Memphis Grizzlies, so he has to go play for those guys. Clevin Hanna, he's in Mexico. He can't make it, but just talent is all over the place. And so I'm super excited to capture this moment. And just we coming out on top, though, I'll say that.
If folks... Can they get tickets at the door? How do you get tickets?
We only have a few left.
Really? I figured so.
So go to the Right Way Foundation 50.org to purchase your tickets. The $25. It's going to be worth every penny. And if tickets are not sold out, then we will sell at the door. But we've sold out usually the day before. So hopefully by tonight we're sold out.
Right Way Foundation 50.org.
The Right Way Foundation.
The Right Way Foundation.
The Right Way Foundation 50.org.
And your foundation, we talked about this the last time you were on, that one of the big things is that you're very passionate about is teaching kids financial literacy. Talk a little bit more about that. I think that is a great thing.
Yeah, it's financial literacy. That's for everyone. That's for every person on this planet. Those who get it thrive. Those who don't understand it, they suffer. It's as simple as that. And it's not talked about enough in the household. It's not talked about enough in school. And so I'm telling you, like the basics, credit. I didn't understand credit as an adult. I didn't understand how powerful it was. Compound interest. We as people we're taught save your money, save your money. No, let's start teaching invest your money, get into real estate, understand how the stock market works, understand how bonds work. Like you can't save yourself to wealth. You know what I mean? So I want to teach these kids the basics of financial literacy because this rat race, this check-to-check mentality that a lot of us have, I'm tired of it. I'm tired of seeing it. So I want to teach these kids what I've learned in my adulthood, the mistakes that I've made, the bad decisions that I've made. And hey, you could be a CFO one day. You could be an entrepreneur one day and run your own company. You could be a tax advisor. You don't have to go be blue. You can do whatever you put your mind to. And so I'm passionate about that. I go to the Boys and Girls Club every week, and so I'm just getting started.
That's awesome stuff that you continue to do with
Yes,
that.
sir.
Again, the charity basketball games, it's tomorrow night.
Yes,
Doors
sir.
opening at 5:30 at Olive Branch High School. Olive Branch versus Holly Spring, women, men, slam dunk competition. There's a three-point shootout too?
No,
no
we're gonna
three-point.
have one time. And we're going to honor the Olive Branch Conquistadors boys. They won the state championship last year. We're going to honor those guys at halftime. They're going to give them their rings. They haven't gotten their rings yet, so we're going to do a ring ceremony at halftime. We're going to honor the boys basketball team.
Do you wear your Super Bowl ring?
I don't even wear my wedding ring, so no. my Super Bowl ring is locked up, stashed away. And I pull it out every blue moon. So I
thought maybe with the coaching you'd wear it just to show the guys, like, hey, I got one of these things.
They know. And but I'm about to get another one. I want a big, obnoxious one to cover my fingers.
These things are crazy now, what they're coming up with.
Yeah.
There's no doubt. KJ, man, it's been a pleasure.
Yes,
Thank you
sir.
so much for coming in. Best of luck with the basketball game. It's always great having y'all, man. Appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
He is KJ Wright, Super Bowl champion, the pride of Olive Branch High School with a big charity basketball game going on tomorrow night. We're back with more after this. Sport 56 and 98.5 FM.
We are real sports talk. Sports 56 WHBQ. Available on your radio dial at 560 AM and 98.5 FM, as well as around the world online at sports56whbq.com. Take us with you everywhere by downloading the Sports 56 app. And at home, just say, Alexa, play Sports 56. Wherever you are, stay tuned in to real sports talk. Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Smoke is our sauce.
What is the Central Barbecue slogan? What are we playing?
Well, I just think that we don't emphasize often enough that even though Central Barbecue offers a variety of sauces at all of their many locations, Central Barbecue's barbecue doesn't even really need the sauce.
We should mention that more often. Central Barbecue doesn't take any shortcuts. The barbecue at Central Barbecue is slow smoked Memphis style for 24 hours to make it so flavorful you really don't need sauce.
That was my point. Well, boy, do they have great sauces.
Oh, yeah. I'm not saying I'm going to go sauce free at Central Barbecue. I'm just saying I could.
Again, exactly my point. Look at my copy. It's the first thing I said. You just hijacked the commercial.
See how it feels?
As you know, summer is right around the corner, and for most people, that means more activities, more golf, more biking, more of whatever you love to do. But if you're dealing with aches and pains, your more could become less. This is why I'm here to tell you about Relief Factor. Relief Factor is a daily supplement that helps fight pain naturally. For instance, I was sent Relief Factor to try, and I've been taking it every single day. I'll tell you what, I feel the difference every day. You see, instead of masking your pain, Relief Factor's formula is designed to help reduce or even eliminate it. It's 100% drug-free, and it's been a game changer for so many people. So let's get after it this summer. Let's feel good. Let's do more of the things that we love to do. Don't let pain keep you down. Give Relief Factor a try and save on your first order. Go to relieffactor.com or call 1-800-4RELIEF. That's 1-800-4-RELIEF. Help fight pain naturally with Relief Factor. These products and statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease or condition.
Summertime's finally here, and that means it's time to party. Lucky for you, Family Leisure is having a summertime to party sale. Now, what's all included in this party sale? Practically everything. 24-foot above ground pools for as little as $19.99. All ladders, filter systems, and even robotic cleaners are 20% off. Come in and look at all of the in-stock patio furniture Family Leisure has. Plus, it's up to 50% off. Play gyms for the kids, that's $1,000 off. Patio umbrellas, take 20% off. You can get a 4-person hot tub for just under $3,000. We know you're really going to just use it for yourself. Family Leisure has discounted pricing on all in-stock pool toys and floats while the supplies last, so you better get in quick. Plus, Family Leisure has special financing available. Just ask an associate for all the details. Summertime means party time, and Family Leisure is ready for any party. Family Leisure, Whitten Road at I-40, where family and fun all come together.
Moving is stressful, but Black Tie Moving can take the worry out of the process. Whether you're moving across town or across country, moving your home or your office, your personal moving concierge from Black Tie Moving will work with you to design a plan that perfectly fits your budget and needs. And they're available 24/7 to answer any questions you have. Give Black Tie Moving a call at 901-316-6196 or go to blacktiemoving.com/Memphis to get your personal, no-obligation quote from the moving experts at Black Tie Moving.
When you think great barbecue, you think Memphis. And when you think Memphis barbecue, you think Corky's. Corky's Ribs and Barbecue. They've been serving up that delicious slow-smoked barbecue for 4 decades, and they've been catering the entire time. So if you have an event coming up, no matter how small, how large, make sure to contact Corky's and have them cater that event. 4 locations: Poplar Avenue in Memphis, Poplar Avenue in Collierville, Germantown Parkway in Cordova, and Goodman Road in Olive Branch. Delicious ribs, and that queue is outstanding. Love the barbecue nachos and the cheese and sausage plate. They also have an award-winning catfish plate, tamales, even burgers, and amazing desserts. You can reserve their private party room as well. You got a little get-together coming up, maybe a birthday party or an anniversary or a family reunion. You can have it at their private party room at the Cordova or the Olive Branch location. Just contact them for information. You can head over for lunch. There's a lunch special every single day. You can add a third of a rack of ribs for just $7.99 when you purchase an entree. And party packs start at just $7.49. Corky's Ribs and Barbecue, open for lunch and dinner 7 days a week.
Now back to Sports 56 Mornings on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by James Gaddis Jewelers.
To reveal the full spectrum of its dazzling color.
Here once again, Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
Welcome back here in the Family Leisure Studios. Eli Savoy, Zach Boyd with you. Thank you again to KJ Wright. What a good dude. What an absolute, he's just a good dude. Love having him on the program and doing great things. Again, the charity basketball game tomorrow night at Olive Branch High School. To buy tickets, rightwayfoundation50.org. And it should say that's right, WRIGHT, as in his last name, not just right as in correct or right versus left, but WRIGHT, the rightwayfoundation50.org. You can buy your tickets to the game. But certainly appreciate him taking some time out of his morning, coming up here, hanging out. I kept him long and everything else. But, just great hearing stories.
Yeah, and, I was talking to him off air before he got on with you. And, I was telling him, I was seeing these former athletes and, when they're in the trenches, like you see Marquise Pouncey and the Pouncey twins, and now you see a picture of them online and they're like skinny as I am.
Yes.
And he's like, man, it's like, even he talked about his former teammate Russell Kuhn, like how much weight he lost. So he was like saying, he was telling me, he's like, yeah, it's like the big guys in the trenches lose all this weight, but then all the skilled guys, they gain all the weight.
Yes, exactly.
So.
Well, the one that always amazes me, well, there are two. Joe Thomas. When you say Joe Thomas, and you're like, dude, that dude was like an all-pro offensive lineman for like however many straight years. Like, you're like that. It's amazing how. And then the craziest one of all that always like blows my mind is Nate Newton. Nate Newton now weighs like 150 pounds.
Yeah.
Something like that. Like you're like, wait a second. Dude, your nickname was The Kitchen. Like, he was playing at like 350. And now you see him and you're like, wait, I weigh a hell of a lot more than Nate Newton does. I just, like, that stuff blows my mind. KJ looks great.
Yeah.
Like, he could absolutely, like, just be like, okay, he could be on the field right now. Like, okay, he just, but yeah.
Spot minutes only. Spot minutes.
Yeah, he's a good dude, and it's great to have him in coaching now with the 49ers, and certainly I hope he has a great coaching career, had a great playing career, and again, those defenses, man, as he talked about, like, dude, those guys were so good. I mean, my God, just look at the names on that defense, and that's amazing that he said that, like, absolutely, if they would have won that Super Bowl, they absolutely would have won the next year as well and made it a three-peat.
I believe that.
Never been done. Chiefs trying to do it now. We'll see if they can get it done. But, yeah, I mean, it's hard to doubt that defense again. But it's also amazing to think, like, that's how big of an effect there was on that team because of that decision that they made. Like, just hand the ball to Marshawn Lynch.
That's it. That's all.
Because, again, you're talking about to one of the players there who says, like, literally, not only did it cost him one Super Bowl, he absolutely believes it cost him 2 Super Bowls. They would have absolutely won another one. So, it was funny. I talked to him off the air. I was like, it was bad enough that they screw this up. And he talked about how obviously angry they were and all this stuff. And, like, as he said, if Pete Carroll just comes in and says, I made a mistake, it'd have been a lot better. But he's trying to rationalize all this stuff. And so you see that. But that, at least they had gotten one. Like, just think if that would have been your only chance to get one and that happened. That would be that would be one you would never get over. Like, you would just never get over that. They had already gotten their ring the year before. So at least they all still had that at least to say, you know what, we did get ours. But yeah, it's just crazy. I could imagine him, as he said, he's on the sideline like, why are we in shotgun? Like, all those guys had to be like, what are we doing? What is going on right now? What is happening? And then the play, like, so you're thinking like, okay, this is dumb, but okay, like, maybe they'll throw it here, but then we'll run it on the next play. And then the interception happens, and you're just like, you got to be like, what in the hell just happened? Oh, God, I can't even imagine that from one of the defensive guys' perspective. Also interesting, like he said, like, that relationship with Russell Wilson, like, they could have been a heck of a lot better. And he blamed someone. I said Russell could have been better, but he said we could have done a better job of having that relationship, trying to develop that relationship with him too. So interesting stuff from KJ Wright, and certainly, again, appreciate him coming in and spending some time with us this morning. Again, check out that All-Star game. Again, not many tickets left, but you can still get tickets. And again, it's going directly to Olive Branch High School and their athletes, and Holly Springs High School and their athletes. It's Olive Branch versus Holly Springs, the alumni charity basketball game tomorrow night at Olive Branch High School. Well, that wraps up hour number 2. Coming up in hour number 3, we've got 10 in a row So it's your opportunity to win a great prize package. And again, it's the repeat of last week because we didn't get a winner last week. So this should be easy as heck. Easy as heck. If you listened last week, heck, even if you participated last week, you get another chance now to redeem yourself. So we got 10 in a row coming up. We got Jason Sobel and Jalen Wells, the draft pick of the Memphis Grizzlies, expected to join us to end the program today. Plus, Major League Baseball All-Star starters were named. We'll go over that list. Got some other things for Major League Baseball to get into. All kinds of stuff coming up. Hour number 3. We'll kick it off, though, with 10 in a row right here on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Looking for sports in all the wrong places? Try the Owner's Box Sports Bar and Grill in Lakeland Town Square. Fun, friendly, exciting, and comfortable with wall-to-wall TVs for all your favorite games, 24 taps for all your favorite beers, including NA and local craft beers, and an in-front-of-the-wall full bar for all your other favorite beverages, including a full wine list. And in an upscale menu, patio seating, daily specials, and events, and you found all your sports in the one right place. The Owner's Box Sports Bar and Grill in Lakeland Town Square, Highway 70.
Hi, this is Troy Fiveash, owner of Fiveash Roofing. In these uncertain economic times, there are so many things as a contractor and a business owner that I cannot control. The rising cost of materials, not to mention fuel and transportation costs. In the last 2 years, shingle prices have almost doubled, and commercial materials have doubled. And I don't have to tell you what fuel costs these days. But you know what I can control? How much markup I put on a project. I have always prided myself in knowing I never gouge a customer. But in an effort to ensure my crews have work and my customers are being treated fairly, I have lowered my profit margin, hoping to give you a price you can live with and keeping my crews busy. So if you need a roof or gutters, please give us a call. Five Ash Roofing, fair, honest, and ethical. Five Ash Roofing, a proud sponsor of Tiger Athletics and a member of the Tigers home team. 367-0050 or MemphisRoofer.com. 367-0050 or MemphisRoofer.com.
When you think about insurance and you want great value without sacrificing great service, I want you to think one place, the Eflin Insurance and the entire Eflin Insurance team. Matt and his group of professionals will access 10 leading companies to find the right home and auto program that fits your budget and your absolute needs. The Eflin Insurance team, the number 386-GER, 386-4777.
As you know, summer is right around the corner, and for most people, that means more activities, more golf, more biking, more of whatever you love to do. But if you're dealing with aches and pains, your more could become less. This is why I'm here to tell you about Relief Factor. Relief Factor is a daily supplement that helps fight pain naturally. For instance, I was sent Relief Factor to try, and I've been taking it every single day. I'll tell you what, I feel the difference every day. You see, instead of masking your pain, Relief Factor's formula is designed to help reduce or even eliminate it. It's 100% drug-free, and it's been a game changer for so many people. So let's get after it this summer. Let's feel good. Let's do more of the things that we love to do. Don't let pain keep you down. Give Relief Factor a try and save on your first order. Go to ReliefFactor.com or call 1-800-4RELIEF. That's 1-800-4-RELIEF. Help fight pain naturally with Relief Factor. These products and statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease or condition.
Don't miss the Independence Day sale at Edwin Watts Golf Shops by Worldwide Golf. Take advantage of incredible deals like 20% off all used clubs, Orange Dot apparel starting at $29.99, and all closeout shoes and bags get an extra 20% off. Shop in store or online for great Independence Day deals. Edwin Watts Golf Shops by Worldwide Golf, home of the 90-day satisfaction guarantee. Get there.
Rick's Powder Coating for a beautiful finish every time. Rick's Powder Coating specializes in automotive, ornamental, residential, and industrial coating. With 2 conveyor lines and the largest batch ovens in the Mid-South, Rick's can accommodate all of your powder coating needs. Locally owned and operated since 2002, Rick's Powder Coating will customize a beautiful finish just for you. Drop by or call to see how Rick's Powder Coating can bring color to your life. 901-367-2771 or rickspowdercoating.com.
This Sports 56 traffic report is brought to you by Luttrell Building. They keep you moving.
Sports 56 traffic.
Good morning. Still moving out here right now on all the major inbound routes. A few accidents still getting some attention from earlier. Traffic still looking good. 51 coming down southbound there. 51 out of Millington. It's moving 40 east across the Hernando to Soto Bridge. Still some radar out here, especially over through parts of Arkansas down I-40. Havenly Showers is your curbless shower specialist. Transform your bathroom with a tub to curbless shower conversion. Log on today, havenlyshowers.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Sports 56, WHBQ Memphis, and W253 DF Memphis. Flynn Broadcasting Stations. Oh, yeah.
Now back to Sports 56 mornings on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour brought to you by Jenkins Floors and More. Here once again are Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
Hour 3 of the program is brought to you each and every day by Jenkins Floors and More. They had the new warehouse open up at 2356 Goodman Road in Horn Lake, Mississippi. They have other stores in Cleveland, Mississippi, and in Little Rock. They specialize in flooring and carpeting. It is a family-owned and operated business. And if it's variety you're looking for, they have it at Jenkins Floors and More. SPC and WPC vinyls, which are scratch-resistant, waterproof, top of the line. Ceramic and porcelain tiles, hardwoods by Portercraft, carpeting from Southern Luxury Carpet, plus backsplashes, plantation shutters and blinds, and so much more. And they sell it wholesale. They skip the middleman, going to save you lots of money. Timmy and Rebecca Jenkins started this business 8 years ago in their garage. And because of their quality of work, their attention to detail, and their pricing, they have earned the reputation of being one of the top flooring companies in the area. So for residential and commercial, that means homeowners, contractors out there, do yourself a favor, see what Jenkins Floors and More has to offer, and they will install. They'll do so in unheard of 2-week turnaround. They will come to you, give you a free estimate. Financing is available. They're open Monday through Saturday. Call them, 662-469-9350, or stop by any of their 3 stores, including their new warehouse at 2356 Goodman Road in Horn Lake, Mississippi. It's Jenkins Floor.
It's hour number 3 of Sports 56 Mornings on this Friday. Hope your 4th of July was a great one. And for many of you, it's back to work today for one day before the weekend. Others, I'm sure, making it a 4-day weekend. Certainly enjoy that. The sun is shining right now. We had some rain move through early this morning, some storms and hard rain. There is some more rain, possibly. There's a big blob. I was just looking at the radar, a big blob kind of moving through Arkansas. See if that makes its way here or maybe breaks up before it gets here. But certainly a chance of some more rain as we move along here throughout the day today. But otherwise, some sunshine, some clouds, temperatures around 90 degrees, high humidity out there with that rain that was in the area earlier this morning. Hour number 3, as Greg was just telling you about, is brought to you by Jenkins Floors and More. Coming up in just a moment, we've got 10 in a row. Later in the hour, Jason Sobel to talk some golf. He's from PGA Tour Radio on Sirius XM. And then Grizzlies' second-round draft pick, Jalen Wells, scheduled to join us to end the program today as the Grizzlies begin their preparations for Summer League. Summer League gets underway in Utah on Monday. They'll play in Utah Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, then move on to the Vegas Summer League right after that. Right now, though, time for 10 in a row.
Not 5, not 6, not 7, not 8, not 9, but 10 in a row.
10 in a row. It's brought to you by the Owner's Box out in Lakeland and Lakeland Town Square, whether you're going to watch some games, watch some action on their great TVs, or just go and enjoy some great food and a drink. Folks at Owner's Box certainly will take good care of you. Check them out in the Lakeland Town Square in Lakeland. Also, Napa Cafe, celebrating 26 years in business this year at Napa Cafe at 5101 Sanderlin. Online, napacafe.com. They're open for dinner Wednesday through Saturday starting at 5 o'clock. Go enjoy for just a casual night out or maybe celebrating a special occasion. Boy, oh boy, great place to go, Napa Cafe. They got 5 different dining rooms, including their private private wine cellar. Well, if you've got a real special occasion, that wine cellar is something special. Try some of their double chocolate stout braised boneless beef short ribs, or maybe one of their great seafood dishes like their pan-roasted ginger buttered sea bass. They've got their wonderful desserts, including their signature dessert cocktails like the lemon cheesecake martini. You'll find it all at Napa Cafe. Again, Wednesday through Saturday for dinner starting at 5 o'clock at 5101 Sanderlin. For reservations or to check out the menu, go to napacafe.com. All right, so last week we did not have a winner in 10 in a row. So we're giving you another chance. A chance to win a $25 gift certificate to the Owner's Box, again out in Lakeland. $25 gift certificate to Mugshots Bar and Grill. That's in Olive Branch and in Collierville. Golf for 4 at Miramichi. And, as if that's not enough, a couple of Malco movie passes as well. So golf, movies, and food. Can't beat that combination. 360-8255, 360-8255, that's the number. The category, against the same one from last week, top 10 picks in the NBA draft. I'll give you a name, and these are all current NBA players, not even going old school on you. Current NBA players, I'll give you a name. If they were selected in the top 10 in the draft, then it is a yes. If they were not selected in the top 10 of the draft, then it would be a no. So, for instance, if I said Zach Edey, it would be?
That would be a yes.
That would be a yes. If I said Jalen Wells,
that would be a no.
That would be a no. It's that simple. And if you get 10 in a row, you win the great prize package. If you were listening last week, and you can remember, we got through, I believe, 7 on one of the lists, and I think through 5 or 6 on the other list. So top 10 picks in the NBA draft, 360-8255, 360-8255. If you want to play and try and win that great prize package, you get $25 to Owner's Box, $25 to Mugshots, golf for 4 at Miramichi, and a couple of Malco movie passes. We got open lines. Don't be bashful. Don't be shy. Get in, take your swing, try and win that prize package. I want to give away this prize package. I tried last week, couldn't do it. So we're trying again this week. You know, if we don't give it away this week, I just give up. I'm just gonna go to Owner's Box. I'll give you can go to Owner's Box. You can go to the movies. I'll go play golf at Miramichi.
Miramichi sounds nice around this time of the year.
It's great golf course. And golf for 4 at Miramichi, that's a hell of a deal. You can take 3 of your friends golfing for absolutely free. They'll love you for that. You can make them buy the beer or whatever, the food, anything you want out there. Make them buy that. Say, hey, I got the golf taken care of. You don't even have to tell them you got the gift certificate. So you know what? I'll take care of the golf. You guys take care of everything else. 360-8255, 360-8255 to play 10 in a row. Top 10 picks in the NBA draft. John is first up. What's up, John?
Hey, Eli. Hey, KJ Wright was a good interview.
Oh, he was great. He is a great dude. No doubt about it, man. And yeah, I really appreciate him coming in and spending some time with us today. All right, top 10 picks in the NBA draft.
Okay.
Marcus Smart.
Yes.
Domantas Sabonis.
Yes.
He is a no. Not a good start. Only got one in there. Come on, folks. Get on the phone lines. Listen, if you don't call in and play, we'll shut the thing down. And again, we'll use the prizes. 360-8255. 360-8255 to play 10 in a row. For $25 to the Owner's Box, $25 to Mugshots, golf for 4 at Miramichi, and 2 Malco movie passes. 10 in a row brought to you by the Owner's Box, as well as Napa Cafe. The All-Star Game starters announced for Major League Baseball. The All-Star Game coming up on July 16th. In the National League, the catcher is William Contreras. his second start. He and his brother now, I think they've combined for 5 starts in All-Star games. First base we already knew was Bryce Harper because he was the top vote getter in the National League, so he automatically was the starter at first base. Second base, Ketel Marte of the Diamondbacks. Third base, Alec Baum of the Phillies. Shortstop, Trey Turner of the Phillies. So the left side of the National League infield will be a pair of Phillies. In the outfield, Kristen Yelich of the Brewers. Jurickson Profar of the Padres. And Fernando Tatis Jr. of the Padres. The designated hitter, no surprise, it is Shohei Ohtani. In the American League, the Orioles, with all of the finalists they had, they only got 2 starters. Adley Rutschman starts at catcher, and Gunnar Henderson gets the start at shortstop. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. of the Blue Jays is at first base. Jose Altuve of the Astros at second base. Jose Ramirez of the Guardians at third base. In the outfield, Aaron Judge, who was the top vote getter. Juan Soto, also of the Yankees. And Steven Kwan of the Guardians. And then their DH is Yordan Alvarez of the Astros. Surprisingly enough, Juan Soto's first All-Star game start. Which actually blew my mind. I never realized that he had not started an All-Star game, but he will get the start this year in the outfield for the American League. 360-8255, 360-8255 to play 10 in a row to try and win a great prize package. Top 10 picks in the NBA draft is the category. Joe is up next. What's up, Joe?
Hey, how y'all doing?
Doing good. All right, top 10 picks in the NBA draft. Jonas Valanciunas.
Yes.
Colin Sexton.
No.
Not performing well.
No.
Maybe it's the little hangover from the 4th of July holiday.
They ate too much of those hot dogs.
Maybe they ate 57 hot dogs in 5 minutes like Joey Chestnut did. 360-8255. 360-8255 if you want to play. Mention the All-Star starters. They also, a tradition unlike any other, they released the photos of the All-Star game uniforms. And, of course, people are up in arms because everybody wants them to wear their normal team uniforms. Although Rob Manfred said he thinks that's a bad look. He doesn't want everybody having a different uniform on. That's why they've gone to the, All-Star game jerseys that they wear now. And do I like it better when they're in their actual team jerseys? Yeah, I do. Do I really? Does it matter to me that much? No, it doesn't. But some people, this is like the biggest crime committed against mankind is that they don't wear their normal jerseys for the All-Star game. But hell, with the problems they've had with jerseys this year, just be happy. They just need to be happy if these jerseys actually are not falling apart. The uniforms have been a real problem this year. So hopefully they're not see-through. Hopefully they're not falling apart. Hopefully they can just get through the All-Star game with no issues with the jerseys, regardless of what they look like. Also, over the holiday, yesterday, the University of Memphis, we were waiting for the commitment from Antoine Hill Jr.'s teammate, the offensive lineman Peyton Joseph. And he did commit yesterday, but not to the University of Memphis. He goes with Florida State instead. So Antoine Hill, when he joined us, said he'd been working hard in recruiting his high school teammate, who was actually ranked higher than Hill is ranked. But tough battle when you're going against Florida State.
Yeah.
Florida State's got a little bit, they're pretty good. Got a little history. And Mike Norvell's pretty good. And Mike Norvell wins the battle. So Florida State wins this battle. We'll see who wins the battle on the field between Memphis and Florida State this year.
Yeah, I was going to say, if I'm not mistaken, like Florida State's supposed to be coming to Memphis in 2025. Am I right?
No. There is no return game for this. This is just a one-off, basically, bye game. So Florida State will not come here. This is just Memphis goes there this season, and that's it. There's no other game scheduled in the series between those two. But yeah, I guess, and if you're the University of Memphis, if you would say, hey, you're going to lose one of the two battles, you'd rather have it be this. Yeah. If this means you win the game, then you'll gladly give up Peyton Joseph. Now, It's going to be a tough task.
Yes.
Florida State's going to be a preseason, probably top 15 team. They lost a ton from last year, but it's Florida State. They also return some good players, and Mike Norvell is very good in the transfer portal and brought in some really good players in the transfer portal this offseason. And, again, he gets Peyton Joseph. Of course, the Tigers did get the high school teammate of Hill's high school teammate, the running back, who is going to be joining the Tigers, I think, as a preferred walk-on. I don't think he's not an actual scholarship player. I think he's going to be preferred walk-on. They did get the commitment of him, but they do not get the commitment from Peyton Joseph of Hill's high school teammates. Jonte Porter going to be charged with a federal felony for his role in the betting scandal, I guess you would say. Of course, he's been banned from the NBA, but he will be charged with a federal felony for basically telling guys, hey, bet on me, bet against me, bet my unders in these games, and then removing himself from those games in order to make sure those bets won. Again, the level of stupidity for some of the stuff, because there are people that believe this is going on, that this goes on a lot, which I maintain it doesn't. I just don't think most guys are dumb enough, because the fact is, you'll get caught. If you do something like this, you're probably going to end up getting caught. And when you get caught, you're going to be banned from the league. So do you really want to give up all of it for the chance? And he was doing it to try and pay off gambling debts. He obviously had a gambling issue, a gambling addiction that put him in a bad spot, and he was doing this. But again, he was only a two-way player. That's $500,000 a year that he could have made. And now, and who knows, could have ended up maybe getting onto a regular NBA contract. And he gave it up for this. I can't imagine there are many players out there dumb enough to do something like this. Maybe there are a few others that will try it or have done it or whatever and haven't been caught yet. But chances are they're going to catch you. I mean, again, all these guys, all the NFL guys, the Major League Baseball guys, Jonte Porter here, they get caught because they're taking a close look at this stuff. They're not going to let you get away with it. And again, you're throwing everything away just for something like that. It's so dumb. I just can't imagine there are other people doing it. Mentioned earlier in the NBA, Buddy Hield going to the Golden State Warriors. 2 years guaranteed for $18 million. He's got a partial guarantee for a third year and then a player option for a fourth year on that contract. Philadelphia, in the sign and trade, gets a 2031 second-round draft pick from Golden State. That was the one that Golden State got from Dallas in the Klay Thompson trade. Bronny James gets a 4-year deal. $7.9 million. And again, they're trying to justify this as if it's normal. He will actually make the Sacramento Summer League gets underway tomorrow. And he'll be making his Summer League debut in Sacramento tomorrow. Him and Dalton Connect and company for the Lakers will be playing in the Sacramento Summer League, and that gets underway tomorrow. So get ready for Bronny James highlights. That 4-year, $7.9 million deal, that's a very similar deal to what Kennedy Chandler got as a second-round pick of the Grizzlies. What pick was Kennedy Chandler?
He's in the 30s.
Yeah, he was in the 30s. It was he wasn't the 55th pick.
No.
Again, for a 55th pick to get that contract is ridiculous. Quite frankly, it's just ridiculous. For a 55th pick of a draft to get a guaranteed actual NBA contract before he even steps foot on the summer league court, anything else, just be given a regular NBA deal of 4 years, $7.9 million is ridiculous. And the Lakers are still trying to act like this is a normal thing. And it's not just because he's Bronny James. I mean, come on.
I guess they really believe in the traits and the genealogy.
I mean, so between LeBron and Bronny, the Lakers in the last few days have paid the James family 60. What did LeBron get?
It was like 2 years, 105.
Yeah, 10. Yeah, so he was 104, I think. So $112 million basically to the James family from the Lakers.
I call that generational wealth.
I mean, could LeBron have just said, hey, take some of my money, give it to him. It's just, I'll sign for $30 million a year, but you got to give the rest of it to my son. Like, it's again,
once his contract is up,
the Lakers like he deserves this. Deserves it based on what? Averaging 4 points in college? Unbelievable stuff. All right, I guess we don't have anybody who wants to play 10 in a row. Nobody wants the prize package. That's fine. I will give up on it, and we'll use the prizes ourselves. Zach will go play golf. I'll go to the owner's box since I live out in Lakeland. It's right there by me. I've been there many times. Great place. And I'll even go to mugshots as well.
Yeah.
I'll do both of them. I'll take it for the team.
Not bad.
Coming up next, we're going to talk a little PGA Tour golf. Yesterday at the John Deere Classic, another 59. First, the second 59 we've had shot in the last few weeks. Of course, Cameron Young, what was that? 3 weeks ago, I believe it was, that he shot the 59. Yesterday, it was Hayden Springer who shot a 59 at the John Deere Classic up in the Quad Cities. He is the leader by one shot right now as the second round is underway. Springer has not teed off yet today. He will not play till this afternoon. He currently has a one-shot lead over a couple of golfers as they continue to tear that golf course apart up there in the Quad Cities. Jason Sobel is on PGA Tour Radio on Sirius XM. He joins us, so we'll talk a little golf next with him right here on Sports 56 Mornings on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Add a little fun to your lunch break. Join Johnny Radio for Sports 56 Happy Hour from 11 to 1 every weekday on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Ten in a Row is brought to you in part by the Owner's Box Sports Bar and Grill in Lakeland Town Square. If you're looking for sports in all the wrong places, find the right place, and that's the Owner's Box Sports Bar and Grill. Fun, exciting, friendly, and very comfortable. Wall-to-wall TVs for all your favorite games, all over-the-wall taps for all your favorite beers, including non-alcoholic and local craft beers. And in front of the wall, you guessed it, the full bar for all your other favorite beverages, including a full wine list. You add in an upscale menu, patio seating, daily specials and events, and you found all your sports in the one right place. The Owner's Box Sports Bar and Grill in Lakeland Town Square. And take advantage of a great lunch menu. Served 11 to 3, Monday through Friday, with everything from quesadillas to sliders to salads to wraps. It's the Owner's Box Sports Bar and Grill in Lakeland, in the Lakeland Town Square. One of our great sponsors of 10 in a Row.
Top Gun is the largest indoor range in the Mid-South, but size isn't their only difference. Top Gun has the best instructors with over 300 years combined experience and classes all the way from first shot to master marksmanship. Plus, Top Gun is affordable. Gold membership is just $48 a month. That's just $1.60 a day for unlimited range time, free gun rentals with purchase of ammo, and members lounge access. Top Gun 2770 Witten Road and TopGunMemphis.com. Always shoot with the best. Top Gun Memphis.
Looking for a way to elevate your engine's performance? Start with Napa Full Synthetic Engine Oil. It provides faster oil flow for hot and cold temperature protection in the harshest driving conditions. Regular use can help your engine run cleaner and longer by defending against sludge and buildup, improving overall engine performance and fuel efficiency while increasing the time between oil changes. Make the switch without slowing down. Feed your ride Napa Full Synthetic Engine Oil. Available now at Napa locations nationwide.
One of the key things that separates Genesis Diamonds from other jewelry stores is nobody's paid on commission. Vice President Nina Abraham says Genesis Diamond experts are never incentivized to get you to spend more or to buy something that's not in your budget.
Doesn't matter how much you spend. If you spend $500 or $50,000, the main focus is finding the perfect engagement ring or recent jewelry or sales tactics.
So when you walk into Genesis Diamonds, you can relax, take your time, get the education you deserve, and make a decision that's best for you, not the salesperson.
They can trust us. It's a huge, huge difference when you know that person is just going to focus on what I want, what I am looking for, not what they want to sell.
No pressure, no risk, no pricing games, no nonsense. At Genesis, it's about making you happy.
It's for life. It's a customer for life. It's a relationship for life.
Genesis Diamonds, a luxury pre-owned Rolexes, and honorary Americans in state.
I'm Ina Abraham. My asset is always on value.
Celebrate July 4th with the hottest deals at Lowe's. Right now, get 2 select 2 or 2.5 quart red, white, and blue annuals for $10. And buy 2, get 1 free on select paint and exterior stain via Lowe's gift card rebate. Shop these deals before they're gone because Lowe's knows summer savings. Valid for 7/10. Annuals offer in-store only. Excludes Alaska and Hawaii. Actual plant size and selection varies by location. Paint. More terms and restrictions apply. See Lowe's.com/rebates for details. While supplies last.
Corky's Barbecue.
Hi, this is Jay Stovall with Corky's Barbecue. We have been serving up our legendary barbecue for more than 39 years, right here in Memphis, Tennessee. Whether you're dining in, picking up in our drive-thru, or serving our famous barbecue at your office or home, with Corky's Party Pack, you are the hit of the party. Barbecue pulled pork, baked beans, coleslaw, barbecue sauce, and buns, starting at only $8.49 per person. And as you know, we send plenty of food. You never have to worry about running out of the store.
Corky's Barbecue.
Hi, this is Jay Stovall with Corky's Barbecue. We have been serving up our legendary barbecue for more than 39 years, right here in Memphis, Tennessee. Whether you're dining in, picking up in our drive-thru, or serving our famous barbecue at your office or home, with Corky's Party Pack, you are the hit of the party. Barbecue pulled pork, baked beans, coleslaw, barbecue sauce, and buns, starting at only $8.49 per person. And as you know, we send plenty of food. You never have to worry about running out of the store.
Sports 56 mornings on Sports 56 and 95 FM. This hour brought to you by Jenkins Floors and More. And once again, Mark Gaston and Eli Savoy.
Welcome back. 9:28 here in the Family Leisure Studios. Eli Savoy with you. Know Greg Gaston, Zach Boyd here as well. Thanks to John Varlas and KJ Wright joining us earlier in the program. Grizzlies draft pick Jalen Wells still expected to join us, but right now we're going to talk a little PGA Tour golf with the guy who does a great job covering the tour. You can hear him on PGA Tour Radio on Sirius XM. He's a great follow on Twitter for golf and picks and betting advice, things like that. Jason Sobel Golf is the Twitter handle, and you can follow him there as Jason Sobel joins us here on the program. Hey, Jason, thanks for joining us. Hope you had a good 4th of July.
It was fantastic. Good morning, Eli. How you doing?
Doing fantastic. I guess it couldn't have been as, you weren't out there shooting a 59 like Hayden Springer, so he probably had a better 4th of July than both of us. But we've now seen a couple of 59s here in the last few weeks. Like, is it just, I don't know, is the game, like, because of the equipment and everything else, are these guys just becoming too good?
I would hate to use those as an outlier. Look, by the way, I played yesterday. I shot 59 at some point. It might have been halfway through the 11th hole, but at one point I was at 59. So I know exactly how Hayden Springer feels now. I don't want to take too recent scores. I believe it's now 14 sub-60 scores that we've seen on the PGA Tour, and many of them coming in the past decade. I don't think we should just take what we've learned over the last few weeks with Cam Young at the Travelers Championship and now Hayden Springer at the John Deere Classic and say golf is too easy for the professionals, or the ball is going too far, or they've got to make some massive changes just because they've shot 59. I think that the main takeaway here for me is that maybe 59 isn't quite the magic number it was for so many years. That now it's becoming a little more attainable on a little bit more of a regular basis, but it's not like it's happening every day.
Yeah, and I guess the part of it's weird is, it'd be one thing if it was like a Rory McIlroy, but you're like, or Scotty Scheffler. When it's Hayden Springer, you're like, wow, like that's. But again, like these guys are all so good.
He had missed, I believe, 7 of his last 8 cuts. I mean, this is not a guy who's been trending in the right direction whatsoever. But again, if we're looking for takeaways, it just tells us how good these guys are on any given day. Anyone can go out there and put up a really, really strong round on the PGA Tour.
And speaking of 59s, I am a member at Colonial Country Club here, which is where Al Geiberger shot the first ever 59 on the tour. Which, playing that golf course like I do, like it's still, that one blows my mind. I don't know in those days with that equipment how in the world on that golf course somebody could have shot 59.
It's certainly more impressive to do that. What was Geiberger, 77 or 78, I believe? With persimmon woods and a lot of balls, and certainly not the way the game is today. But look, we probably have thicker rough out there on golf courses now. Maybe not Colonial specifically, but the greens are running faster, so they have done things to make it a little more tougher as the equipment has improved over the years too.
The current state of the tour, obviously we're just over a year away since they made the announcement last year that they were going to be joining with the PIF, although that has not happened yet. First of all, what are you hearing about where things stand with that? And what do you think is the current kind of state of the PGA Tour?
Yeah, we talk about it on my show all the time. I wish I had more information for you, but I know the same thing everybody else knows, which is not very much. PGA Tour a few weeks ago issued an announcement that there would be an announcement, which is like your boss having a meeting to talk about the meeting that you have coming up, which doesn't really do anyone a whole lot of good other than, things are still progressing. I do think they're going to get there at some point where the PGA Tour will have a deal in place with the Public Investment Fund of Saudi Arabia. I wish I was invited to a policy board meeting. To me, it's fairly simple, and the PGA Tour says to the Public Investment Fund, hey, we'll take January through August, run our schedule. If any LIV players would like to come compete on the PGA Tour, we'll let them back in and we'll let them play. And then LIV, you guys take September through December, you run your 14, 15 events, and if you'd like to take some PGA Tour players and they'd like to go play over there, they're more than welcome to as well, but they don't have to. And so, to me, that seems like a nice symbiotic relationship that would work well for both parties, especially if there's a deal in place. But I don't know. That's just my idea. I don't know if they're thinking something completely different.
As far as getting a deal done, did it matter at all that Bryson DeChambeau, a LIV player, won the U.S. Open?
Probably not. I don't think that these, business dealings and these, big meeting rooms they've got, whether it's Ponte Vedra or they met down in the Bahamas or wherever they're going to be, I just don't think that, that necessarily matters at all. It might matter more in the eyes of the fans, though, Eli. I think that to see a guy like Bryson DeChambeau at the U.S. Open this year, Brooks Koepka at the PGA Championship last year, I think that gives a little more shine to the LIV Tour that the PGA Tour loyalists can't simply say, well, all these guys left, they took the money, and they're no good anymore. That there are still some proven commodities out there who can play as well as anybody in the world on any given week. And I think that helps matters moving forward. I don't understand the point of merging. If you've got all the good players, they've got all the retread players, why would you want to merge? But no, obviously, there are some world-class players still competing on the LIV circuit, and they're capable of winning majors, capable of winning PGA Tour events if and when the time is that they can come back to them.
Talking with Jason Sobel from PGA Tour Radio on Sirius XM. The other big story, I guess, that came out of the U.S. Open was Rory McIlroy and the missed putts and the kind of the meltdown to kind of give that one away. We have not seen him since. He'll be making his return at the Scottish Open next week. What's your expectation for how Rory McIlroy comes out of this layoff?
I've heard so many people say that because of the scar tissue, because this one hurt so much, because he had it in his grip and let it go on the last 3 holes at Pinehurst. Look, I don't like using the C word for any professional athlete, but he kind of choked there. I mean, that's a 2.5 footer and a 3.5 footer, putts that he never misses. Granted, they were tougher than they would be a 3-footer at the John Deere Classic. But, he's got to make those to win a major. That said, I've heard so many people say that they think Rory's not going to be able to come back from this for a while that I'm completely going in the other direction. Look, he's obviously playing some really good golf right now. He's obviously trending. He's in good form. I think that Rory's got a great chance to go out and not only contend at the Scottish Open, but potentially win the Open Championship at Royal Troon in a few weeks.
I assume you were there when that happened at the U.S. Open.
Yes.
And what was your feeling with him not then talking to the media afterwards?
So for just about any other player, I would say that's okay. You know what? I'm a little biased. You're a little biased. We work in the media. We would like to be able to tell these players stories and be able to relay what they're thinking to the general public. But I understand at the moment. That said, when it's specifically Rory McIlroy, who sat with a few of us reporters at Pebble Beach a few months ago, before that tournament started, said, look, I just went to an F1 race, and I saw how much media they do. 5 minutes before a race, these guys are talking to reporters. They're signing autographs. We need to understand that we're entertainers, that if it wasn't for the fans, if it wasn't for the media coverage, we would not be making all this money. We would not have these great lives. And so we need to do better on that level. Because it was Rory McIlroy who said those words, for him to not speak with the media afterwards, and specifically even more so, to not play the Travelers Championship the next week when he was among those calling for short field, elite field tournaments on the PGA Tour and sort of almost mandatory requirements to go play those. I think it's a really bad look in both of those instances. Again, for any other player, if it's Bryson or Brooks or Xander Schauffele or whoever it might be, Scotty Scheffler, if they leave, I don't have as much of a problem with it, but because Rory McIlroy has so openly spoken about the need for players to make themselves more available and to be entertainers, I thought it was just a bad look.
Talking with Jason Sobel from PGA Tour Radio. Scotty Scheffler, the level he has played at this year, I mean, it's not quite Tiger-like, but are you surprised, because we talk about how good all of these guys are, that one guy has been able to dominate the way he has this year?
Yes. Yeah, I am. Just in a single word. Look, Scotty Scheffler is a fantastically talented player, obviously. I don't think anyone coming into this year would have been surprised if I said, hey, Scotty's going to win another Masters and he's going to be number one throughout the entire year. You'd say, okay, yeah, that sounds about right. But for Scotty to dominate the way he has, winning about 40% of his starts this year against, and again, I know that people might take it lightly and say, well, these guys he's playing against, they're not as good as maybe the players that Tiger was playing against. They're not the Vijay Singhs and Phil Mickelsons and Ernie Els or Tief Goosens. I'm telling you, these guys are so good. From Xander Schauffele to Rory McIlroy to Patrick Cantlay. I mean, Colin Morikawa. There's so many good players out there, and that's the thing for Scotty Scheffler to not just go out there and play really well on a regular basis, but to beat all these other players. He's, for the most part, only playing in the most elite fields against the best players. So for him to do this on a regular basis now this year is just, I think it's we're almost underrating just how impressive it is.
From players that you've talked to about it and stuff, with the setup now, with the signature events and the limited fields and everything else, do they like that? And does it seem like the tour is happy with the way this has worked out?
It's a double-edged sword. And I think what we've learned over the last couple of years now is that it comes down to the players who are the most popular. I mean, there's always been sort of a meritocracy. The guy who's 138th on the money list counts just as much as the guy who's number one because they're both PGA Tour members and it matters. And I think what we've learned over the last couple of years is that, no, it's not equal. that the guy who's number one is way more important to the tour, way more important to the fans, way more important to the overall success of what's taking place on a regular basis than the guy who you've never really heard of. And so I think that having these short field events, look, there are very few people that I've spoken with, whether it's media, fans, or even the players themselves, who would be against having a cut. I still don't quite understand why these shorter field events aren't, instead of 72 players, 100 players in the top 50 make the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, I don't really have a problem with the best of the best playing against each other on a regular basis. And I will say, when it comes to live, and I know this isn't really part of the question, but when we're getting into a deal with the PGA Tour and live, and I get it, it behooves the PGA Tour, it behooves live. Neither of those organizations run the 4 major championships. And I have made the case over the last couple of years that, as a fan, boy, the majors might be better if we keep all these players separate and they don't play against each other than 4 times a year, and these events become really special because all of a sudden we see the Brysons and Brooks playing against the Rorys and Sanders and Scotties.
Yeah, that is interesting. Yeah, when you think about it that way, the keeping it rare makes it more intriguing when they do get those battles. And again, when you watch a duel between Bryson and Rory McIlroy at the U.S. Open, it's pretty cool because you don't get to see that other than those 4 times a year. Here in Memphis, of course, we're about 6 weeks almost, I guess, away from the Memphis tournament. Top 70 will be here. One of the names that's not in that top 70 right now is a guy that a lot of people like watching, and that's Ricky Fowler. It looked like last year he had kind of gotten his game back, and he has had a good year. This year, not so much again. What are the issues now, you think, with Ricky Fowler again?
Yeah, so it's a little bit of everything. Look at the stats. It's not like, well, if you could hit a driver in the fairway somewhere, you'd be playing really well. It's a little driver, it's a little irons, a little short game, a little putter. It's a lack of consistency on a regular basis. So hopefully Ricky starts playing a little bit better. I know the fans love watching him. I think it would behoove Ricky. And look, I've said this about Ricky Fowler for 15 years, and this is not a knock on him, but I would like to see some of the bigger stars, and especially guys who, and we're seeing with Jordan Spieth this week, when they're not playing their best golf, go out and play. Instead of, I know we've got all these elite fields, there's no cut, and it's free money, and you can't pass them up, but go play a John Deere Classic.
Mm-hmm.
Go play a Rocket Mortgage Classic, a 3M Open. Go play one of these other events and at least look around on the range and go, you know what? I think I'm as good or better than just about everybody else here. I've got a great chance, and it can help guys' confidence to just go out there and play some good golf at an event where you're not looking around and you see, well, there's Scotty to my left, there's Rory to my right. Man, I'm struggling with my swing a little bit, trying to figure things out. How am I supposed to go contend and compete with these guys when I'm trying to figure things out myself? So I would like to see that. I've thought this about Ricky Fowler for years and years. I mean, the knock on him was that he hadn't won enough golf tournaments. He's got, I believe, 6 wins on the PGA Tour. Nothing to sneeze at whatsoever. But I do think that some of these players tend to look just at like, I'm an elite player. I play in the elite field. It might be worth it to play some of those other ones. And with Ricky outside that top 70 to make Memphis, it wouldn't be surprising to me to see him play a few more as we get towards the playoffs.
Jason Sobel joining us from PGA Tour Radio. The Olympics are coming up as well. How important do you think the Olympics are to the golfers? You know, obviously the majors are there. You've got the players. Like, where do the Olympics fall in their like goals to winning a gold medal versus winning a major?
I think you would have to ask every individual player, and it would be a wide spectrum of answers. I think there are some players who'd say maybe not a Masters, maybe not even an Open Championship, but they might say, hey, you know what? Give me a gold medal or a PGA Championship, gold medal or a FedEx Cup title. I'll take the gold medal. I think that'd be the coolest thing I could ever do in my career. I'd love to have that happen. Then there are other players who go, you know what? I want the money. I want the exemption. I want all of the spoils that come with a PGA Tour victory that even a gold medal wouldn't equal a PGA Tour victory for me. But if they've qualified, they're going for the experience. They're going to be an Olympian. And I will say the one cool thing about it now, and we saw golf return to the Olympics 8 years ago, and there were a lot of players who just said, you know what, I'm going to skip it. I got too much stuff going on with my schedule. That now we're seeing a whole lot of players. Jason Day spoke about it just a couple of days ago. He's going to represent Australia this year in Paris, and he said, I wish I had done it back in 2016. I was maybe a little selfish and was just thinking about my schedule and what it meant for me, but to have a chance to be an Olympian is a really special thing, and I think that's mostly what these guys are thinking now. We're seeing very few, if any, players who are qualified electing to skip the festivities in Paris in a couple of weeks, and so I think that's a pretty good thing. I think that's at least showcasing the game and showcasing the best players to a pretty global scale at the Olympics.
Absolutely. He is Jason Sobel, PGA Tour Radio. What time is your show on?
2 to 4 Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday on PGA Tour Radio.
2 to 4 Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Is that 2 to 4 Eastern or 2 to 4?
Eastern. Sorry. Yes.
So
of course, I should be working in Central Time Zone. 1 to 3 Central. Sorry.
1 to 3, and he's great. And you follow him on Twitter. Great betting advice, things like that. Breaking down the tournaments each and every week and stuff to look for. He does a great job covering the PGA Tour. Will you be in Memphis again this year?
I will be there, Eli. It might only be a quick trip. I had way too much hot chicken last year for me to stay an entire weekend.
Thanks a lot, Jason. We'll see you when you get to town.
I can't wait. Thanks so much. Jason
Sobel joining us again from PGA Tour Radio. Guns. That's what it's all about at Classic Arms. ClassicArmsOfMemphis.com, the website. They're located at 1740 Germantown Parkway. It's right behind Corky's in Cordova. They buy, they sell, they trade. They've got new guns. They've got used guns. They got all kinds of guns. Anything you're looking for, from self-defense to hunting, whatever, all the top brand names, you'll find them all at Classic Arms. They do free gun inspections. They'll do free gun appraisals. They do free bore sighting as well. They're the only gun importer in the Mid-South. They got the guaranteed lowest price in town. It's all at Classic Arms. Again, you can shop 24/7 at ClassicArmsOfMemphis.com, or you can check them out at 1740 Germantown Parkway, right behind Corky's. Up next, we end the show. We're expected to be joined by Grizzlies draft pick Jalen Wells, right here on Sports 56 Mornings on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Memphis' perfect downtown neighborhood bar is cool. We're not just talking about the temperature. Now, it is very cool in Bell Tavern this time of year, but it's also just straight up cool. The atmosphere is cool, the employees are cool, and the customers are cool. Bell Tavern isn't for people that feel compelled to act out whether their team is winning or losing. It's for people that act like grown-ups, cool grown-ups. That means if you go to Bell Tavern, you're cool. Lots of people go to big chain sports bars, but you could be one of the people that goes to Bell Tavern. That's cool.
Cork and Barrel in Hernando, Mississippi, a southern gem for over 15 years. Check out their bigger, better, bolder new location, 2595 McInvale Road, Hernando. Huge selection, incredible pricing. Choose from hundreds of bourbons, tequilas, rum, scotch, and vodka. Over 1,000 wines from fine and very simple picnic wines. At Cork and Barrel, it's all about serving you. Open Monday through Saturday, 10 to 10, where the fun begins and the liquor and wine never end. Cork and Barrel, 2595 McInvale Road, I-55 Hernando, exit 280.
Make your next grill your last with a Big Green Egg. Smoke, bake, roast, sear, and grill, all with a lifetime warranty. Save money on fuel, eating out, and replacing expensive grills that cannot match the flavor of the Big Green Egg. Ready to cook in only 10 to 15 minutes with temperatures below 200, above 700, and anywhere in between with ease. Change your at-home cooking experience for life. Go to shop.biggreenegg.com.
Hi, this is Troy Fiveash, owner of Fiveash Roofing. In these uncertain economic times, there are so many things as a contractor and a business owner that I cannot control. The rising cost of materials, not to mention fuel and transportation costs. In the last 2 years, shingle prices have almost doubled, and commercial materials have doubled. And I don't have to tell you what fuel costs these days. But you know what I can control? How much markup I put on a project. I have always prided myself in knowing I never gouge a customer. But in an effort to ensure my crews have work and my customers are being treated fairly, I have lowered my profit margin, hoping to give you a price you can live with and keeping my crews busy. So if you need a roof or gutters, please give us a call. Five Ash Roofing, fair, honest, and ethical. Five Ash Roofing, a proud sponsor of Tiger Athletics and a member of the Tigers home team. 367-0050 or MemphisRoofer.com. 367-0050 or MemphisRoofer.com.
Sports 56 mornings on Sports 56 and 95 FM. This hour brought to you by James Floors and More. Here once again are Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
Welcome back, 9:50 here in the Family Leisure Studios. Eli Savoy with you. No Greg Gaston. Zach Boyd is here as well. And it's a pleasure now to welcome to the program one of the new members of the Memphis Grizzlies. He was drafted 39th overall in last week's NBA draft and getting ready for Summer League play, which will begin on Monday out in Utah. Jalen Wells joins us on the program. You can follow him on Twitter at Jalen underscore Wells. Jalen, how you doing, man?
Doing great. Thanks for having me.
Thank you very much for joining us. So what's it feel like to be now a member of an NBA team and getting ready for your first summer league?
Yeah, I'm excited. Looking forward to being able to learn and go out there and play with some of my teammates, obviously Zach and Cam. So, yeah, just really was looking forward to that.
Leading up to the draft, what were your expectations, kind of where you might get picked, and did you know that the Grizzlies had a lot of interest in you?
Yeah, I knew they had a lot of interest. I wasn't really sure where I was going to end up. I feel like I had kind of a wide range, so I was kind of going into it blindly, hoping to end up in a good spot, and I did.
What is that, especially with it being 2 days now, what's it feel like when you're watching the first round of the draft and then you don't go, now you got to wait till the next day, and what were you doing, and how do you kind of to emotionally manage everything?
Yeah, it's kind of weird just because, you're kind of getting all ready for the draft, and then you don't get drafted, so you got to go back home, especially in New York, long drive back home. And then you're going there for that second day, and everything's a little bit different. So it was kind of a weird experience.
For you, though, coming out of high school, you end up going to a Division II school in Sonoma State. So when you're going to a Division II school, at that point, are you is the NBA even on your radar at that point?
Honestly, no. I was really just hoping to be able to. I was just blessed to be able to play on a scholarship, and I honestly was planning to play there all 4 years, and hopefully end up overseas or something like that. So yeah, definitely wasn't on my radar. But I mean, I kind of always knew I can get here, and I never really doubted myself.
So then you perform really well. You're an All-American at the Division II level. How important was it for you to go play that 1 year at the Division I level to really show your skills?
Yeah, obviously just having that platform was big for me. Being able to play against the highest competition in D1. Also just being able to have those resources. I got a lot more resources that I didn't really know or didn't really have at the D2. So I think what was big is being able to learn how to use those resources and then actually applying them. I think that's probably a big part of my development.
Since you've been drafted, we've talked a lot about the shooting ability that you bring to this team, over 40% at the college level. Tell people a little bit outside of the shooting. What are the other things you feel like you bring to this Grizzlies team?
Yeah, I feel like I bring versatility. I can handle the ball. Obviously, I got some length, being 6'8", just being able to be a threat outside of just being a shooter, come off pick and rolls and things like that. And I feel like I'm gonna make that winning play. I know how to bring energy, and just here to win.
How much did you know about the Grizzlies before they drafted you?
A decent amount. Obviously, I watched a couple of games. Obviously, Ja Morant's a pretty exciting player to watch.
How exciting is it knowing when you've got a guy like that who certainly can create opportunities for other guys on the floor to think, hey, that's the guy that I could be playing next to. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, definitely. And I think I can only help him just being able to be that floor spacer and giving him more space on the floor to do the things he does. So yeah, definitely exciting.
What's your impressions of Zach Edey?
Dude's huge, but he's a great guy off the court and seems like a worker. So definitely excited to see how our relationship grows in these next years.
Now, the other night, I guess it was Wednesday night, you guys were out at the Redbirds game, and you threw out the first pitch. So how nervous were you to throw out that first pitch?
I wasn't too nervous. They gave me a couple practice pitches before, and also, that was my first time really pitching a baseball. The only thing I ever played was T-ball, so kind of just knew just get it to the target. Just doesn't need to have power on it. Just get it there.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it was pretty much a strike. So you passed that test. That's all that mattered. But so you had never played baseball since T-ball.
Yeah.
Wow, that's impressive to go out there and make that. Why did Zach not want to do it too? I thought maybe they would have both of you guys throw it out.
I'm not sure what happened there. I don't know. He was there though.
He was. What's it been like just being around town as a Grizzly? And how much had you ever been to Memphis before?
The only other time I've been to Memphis was for second grade AAU nationals.
Wow.
But yeah, just going around the city, I definitely feel the love. I feel the humidity. I feel it all. I feel good to be in Memphis.
Yeah, this time of year, it can take your breath away, can't you? When you walk out of the house that first time in the morning and that humidity hits you.
Yeah, definitely.
It is something. Well, yeah, at least you'll be getting out to Utah. That'll be a little bit better. But then Vegas is a little warm. Not the humidity, but it's a little warm this time of year.
Yeah.
Well, hey, listen, Jalen, thank you so much for joining us. We certainly appreciate it. Great to have you on the Grizzlies. Looking forward to seeing you in action, and good luck in Summer League, and good luck with getting your career started. We appreciate it, man.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Jalen Wells joining us here on the program. Again, the Grizzlies will get Summer League play underway out in Utah starting on Monday. They'll play Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday in Utah. They play the Jazz, the 76ers, and then the Thunder. And then they move on to Vegas for the Vegas Summer League. They'll play their first game there on Friday of next week, a week from today. So they'll play 4 games in 5 days next week in Summer League play. Then they'll get a couple of days off. They'll play then Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday as well in Vegas. That's the 15th, the 17th, and the 18th that they'll play in Las Vegas in the Summer League. So Jalen will be in action, Zach Edey, Cam Spencer. We know that DJ Jeffries will be on the team. We know Gigi Jackson will be out there. Again, we don't know how much he'll play. When you're talking 4 games in 5 days, who knows how many games each of these guys will play as far as that is concerned. That's a lot of action for the Summer League. I would imagine we'll get the full roster either today or maybe tomorrow, the full Summer League roster from the Grizzlies, as again, they will begin play on Monday. That'll do it for us today and for the week as well. Again, hope you had a great 4th of July holiday yesterday. Hope you'll have a great weekend as well, and then we'll talk to you again on Monday morning. Up next, it is Wolo and Friends. Wolo out once again. Zach and Bryant will take you through the next hour. For Zach, I'm Eli. Thank you very much to John Varlas and KJ Wright and Jason Sobel and Jalen Wells for joining us on the program. We'll talk to you again on Monday morning. Have a great weekend, everybody.